And now you become a part of me. You'll always be right here. You become a part of me. You'll always be my fear. I can't separate myself from what I've done. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to.
So talk about depression shit.
Hey
People
man,
die.
nothing more depressing than
Comic-Con.
suicide and Superman, man.
Yeah. Wait, Suicide Superman?
Hey, Suicidal Superman. That's a new album.
Oh, there
Ah.
Could have led it to Suicide Squad 2.
yes, people. No, it's time. It's time. It's time. Comic-Con. Holy shit. Holy
Yes.
shit, Anthony.
San Diego Comic-Con
Yeah,
was
man.
pretty much like this nuclear explosion. Like, it was like, you know what? It was like we were Japan, and San Diego Comic-Con was Hiroshima, and then she was just like, bitch, get it. And it just dropped the bomb on
Metal
us.
Gear Solid reference? What
And
the
like everybody is just dead bodies everywhere. But we still recovered because we got a lot of great things, man. We got a lot of great nuclear explosions from that big explosion, from that
Oh, he's
big
still
one.
going.
Oh my
So,
god, what
hey,
the
man,
fuck
I'm
is he
telling
talking
you.
about?
I only make jokes like this because I've been hanging around this fucking community, and mostly because I've been hanging around Gotcha and Nick too long. So I'm starting to like just taint and just die.
having a
and just
nervous
wither
breakdown?
away.
You won't get my
Wither away.
respect until you make a suicide joke.
Nah, I won't go that far just yet. Nah,
Alright.
Oh no,
I got my
Zero Nagasaki and Hiroshima jokes. Yeah, sure.
Wait, who the fuck is Nagasaki, a Tekken character? What the fuck?
That was the other place I got. Never mind.
Wait, I like how Alex is like, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people died. You don't hate.
No big deal.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to the History Channel. Like, I don't know, dude. I'm sorry. Okay, god damn it. It is bad things are happening right now, and I don't know those things. Okay,
It's okay. It's too much to keep up with, Nick. It's just too much to keep up with. So you know what? I don't blame you, sweetheart. I don't blame you.
But you know what though? You know what you can't blame me for?
What?
You can blame me for making everybody watch the fucking George Romero because tonight, man, we're watching like what's an MCA viewing party. Why can't I remember that? It's the easiest fucking couple of words you can say. I don't know
We've
what's
been doing
wrong
it
with
for
me.
6 months.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I'm a fucking weird dude, and I'm stupid. But here's the thing, Anthony Wilson Jr., is that tonight, the show is going to be kind of long. Just a little bit. A little Yeah, a little lengthy.
Just little bit. Just so
It's
you know
gonna
what,
be 10 inches
motherfuckers.
long.
Get the show's gonna be 10 inches. Hey, people, get your blanket, get your pillows, because it's gonna be a long ass show, and it's also it's just gonna give you so much content. Just 2 hour show, but like Nick was saying, that fucking viewing party at the end of it's gonna be a long ass night.
Ooh, and look at what we got here too. So here's the thing, and me and God talked about this, and a few other people and whatnot. I know Dawn of the Dead was the most voted thing, but if we're gonna be doing this shit, I cannot be ending the night off with a black and white movie, being tired as fuck, being like, dude, the show was long, fucking Comic-Con trailers, losing my fucking shit over Ready Player One. I can't take this shit, Anthony. I can't do it anymore, man. It's fucking ridiculous.
The fuck are you on?
Just
We're on
just
that
so
replay.
much.
No, I swear to God, his eyes went to the back of his head like Undertaker and shit.
Damn. I missed that.
Hey, I left all my clothes in the middle of the live stream, so just my last match is over.
Take that shit back to the Rockland podcast. I made one reference.
Take
One
that shit to
reference.
Skype.
Where did you think that was going to end up going?
Hey, I drew him to the end of the road. I didn't think he was going to drive me over the goddamn cliff.
Well, you know what? Since we're gonna be talking about fucking wrestling, Ganja, you want to talk some shit? It's the Suicide Hangout now,
I'm
motherfucker.
only if we can talk about The Rock being in Jumanji. That's the only wrestling I'm
No,
interested
I ain't doing that shit. But here's the thing, though, man, because I'm gonna go back to this thing, and I wish I could just get through this shit real fucking quick, but I can't because I'm so fucking hyped. But Anthony Wilson Jr. tonight we're starting off on Night of the Living Dead. I know it wasn't the most voted, but that's what we're gonna be doing. And then we're gonna be watching Dawn of the Dead. Now, there's a reason why I'm not putting on Land of the Dead, Day of the Dead, the whole thing. For one, it's only so many hours in the fucking night. You guys can't even get through Samurai Jack season 5. So what the fuck?
We got through 9 episodes in
That's
one sitting.
Not the whole thing,
Bitch,
though.
don't you correct Nick. Bitch.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, what he said, I think, maybe, possibly.
You better watch out for Mr. Wilson pulls out his belt.
Don't make me get my pimp hand. No,
He's going to beat the hammer off your ass.
But the thing is, too, is that for once, this is actually something I'm going to be in. So when me being in the fucking call in the After Hours, in the Rabbit, by the way, which we will be posting that in the comment section underneath the YouTube video after the show is over. But when I do that, though, you guys cannot be going in there and talking over the fucking movie. It's a quiet movie. Everybody's whispering. Zombies are always like moaning, like the whole shit. I want to hear that shit. It's gonna be cool as fuck. So everyone, don't be talking over the shit. Don't be looking at the camera lens. Oh my god, I wonder if that's like a 3-7 something. What the fuck are you doing?
I thought he was gonna bust out the Thriller. I was waiting for him to complete.
Oh man. No, but that's the thing. I should have used that in the bumpers. But the thing is, though, and by the way, fuck you for saying it's AMV. Okay, I'm better than that. Okay.
That shit was a fucking animated music video, bitch. I was waiting for Naruto to come around and fucking bang out a zombie, man.
Dude, I was like, Nick took us back to fucking 2005 or 2004, man.
Hey, dude, I downloaded that fucking bumper off the LimeWire.
Oh, damn.
Hey, get it right, it's Napster.
No, but that's the thing. But yeah, like with that said though, man, like tonight, I no arguing ever. And then if you guys change your mind about wanting to watch 2 movies, I mean, these are long films. So if you guys want to like stop, maybe watch something else, go on YouTube. I'll give the control to maybe Alan or somebody else, and you guys can just hang out like a regular After Hours. So make sure to let me know. And how many people can you fit into a rabbit call?
I think
many as it takes.
I think we still have yet to reach the limit. Like even with anime night, where people just like coming in and just like filling it up. I think we like had mostly everybody that had participated on one MCA night, like in the After Hours and stuff like that. We still didn't reach the capacity of Rabbit. I want to say, don't quote me on it. I want to say it's either 15 or 25.
If we didn't fill it up on Star Wars night, it's not filling up.
Yeah, I think we have yet to reach the limit of Rabbit. So hey, Rabbit is better than Google Hangouts in that sense. So you could just come on in there, pile it up. So, but that's the thing. 25 people, that's a lot of fucking voices. So I want all of you guys to shut the fuck up. No, I'm kidding. But just keep the talking to them.
I want y'all to shut the fuck up.
But more importantly, enjoy the movie. That's the point.
Yeah, exactly. And keep it about the movie. I'm looking at you, Justin.
You know, my neighbor knew a guy who also knew a guy who knew a guy who held a camera. No. But here's the thing, though.
Use your Zoom.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I would totally go through the itinerary, but we're already like 20 minutes into this fucking show, most likely. You know, I work in light years, by the way. But the thing is, fuck the itinerary. Everyone's going to find out what we do as you go into the show. So, Gotcha Guru, with you trying to hold in that fucking laughter, tell me about them motherfucking rules, man.
Rules number 1! I want to see those new, fresh smelling faces, motherfucker. Bring them to us in the PM section so we can bring you onto the show. Again, hit me, Anthony, Allie, or Alan inside the PM section, and we'll get you on the show. Rule number 2, do not talk over each other.
When I'm talking to you.
Ugh. It's just plainly rude, and it just sounds nasty, just like he just did. So don't do it, man. It just ruins audio quality for later viewing. Rule number 3, please no nudity. Keep the titties away. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link. We have a planned show, and that includes who comes on for certain topics. So if you give anyone else the link, we'll kick you and them out. Rule number 5, read the rules. And Alley Girl, I hope you're there for this.
No, she gone. She gone.
Don't be a
man. She
dick.
gone.
My balls, Alley. Somebody else.
She gone.
Wait,
She-
can we all try to do Allie's voice? Anthony, you go first.
I don't know.
Don't be a dick.
Alan, you go.
I apologize for the future viewing of this, but don't be a dick.
Damn, I died. Holy shit. She just she choked me the fuck out. Anyways, don't be a dick, motherfucker. It's time to bring people into the call. And how the fuck do you bring them into the call? If I wanted to come in and talk to you guys, how do I do this, man? Oh, drop the bass.
Drop the bass. Boom, boom. I want you to look on the side. You know, it's freaking.
Yeah,
I want you to look
Jesus
on the left
Christ.
side of your screen, people. It's gonna be a box that's gonna be blinking red and yellow, red and yellow. You're gonna click that box. It's gonna open up. You're gonna see a Google Hangouts link. You click that link and hop inside the call in a very San Diego Comic-Con like manner.
Ooh, San Diego Comic-Con like matter doesn't even make any fucking sense.
It makes sense to me, man. It's real to me, damn it.
Dude, I want to see a Viola Davis snot bubble come out right now, just like
I was standing there right with you.
Ruthless in the house. How you doing, man?
Ruthless.
Ruthless
What's up,
save
How
me.
y'all doing?
He's like, Ruthless saved me. He's like, oh, I like this shit.
No.
No, but here's the thing what I don't like. I'm going to go ahead and give this to Alan really quick, because Alan, you like white people's shit, and here's the thing that I really cannot stand. I do not get the appeal to this fucking franchise.
Kingsman!
No, fuck you!
Kingsman! For the glory of the Queen! And then the rest of the United States, apparently.
No, but here's the thing. Like, you saw me on this really quick, because I don't necessarily get why this is a big deal, because this is one of the most trendy things. Like, it's number 39 trending on YouTube. And the biggest thing is that as far as Comic-Con talk, everyone's discussing this. So go ahead and let me know like what you feel
Yeah,
about.
because the original one was based on a comic by, I think it was Mark Millar, but I could be wrong. And it was basically what it was. It's just like, yeah, the British Secret Service, and what it is, instead of them, being like what we know in real life, they're kind of the secret cabal of these like super spies that go around the world and do all sorts of stuff to protect, the British stuff, like the Secret Service in America. And that's actually what the sequel is about. So the sequel is like, oh yeah, not only is there the British people that are doing their stuff to protect their country, there's also the people in the American. And what it is, it takes a lot of the stereotypes of the country. So the British are all suave in suits, glasses, drinking tea, proper British men. And then you have the Americans are all a bunch of cowboys and shit, because that's kind of how the world, sees like, oh, they're cowboys doing their own thing. So it's kind of weird to see the two countries blend together. Are they going to fight each other, or are they going to be really working together? And also, what's the bigger threat?
But how
So I'm really, really interested in what this movie's going to be about.
I was going to ask
I
you,
just
how
can't wait till that
fantastic-
moment where they finally say how Pedro Pascal goes from being Jack Daniels in this movie to being himself on Narcos in season 3. Can't wait for that. It's gonna be great.
No, and Julie's in the call. Julian, how you doing, man? You look depressed as fuck, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
With George Romero and Chester Bennington.
Yeah, man, it's been a rough week.
We're going to
I
talk
thought you were
about
going
that
to
in a
say
minute.
Valerian.
Hey, bitch, cheer the fuck up. You got a gorilla shirt on right now.
Yeah, I
Let's steal
do.
the fuck off that.
Yeah, but then I
Bitch,
bet
I
you...
don't see no Harambe.
No, in about a week, those motherfuckers are gonna die too. Like, I'm
Oh.
scared. No, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, dude, it's scary because so many people are connected and they're dying. Like, Chris Cornell and Lincoln and Chester Bennington had a fucking interview recently together. They both looked depressed, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know if this is gonna affect everybody else. Did you guys know? Like,
Damn.
someone from Korn drops off, the Disturbed fucking dies. I don't know. Like, everyone just stay healthy, man. But here's the thing, Julian. I know you're upset, but did this trailer kind of change that for you? You happy, man? I know you're a fucking nerd.
This one?
Yeah, Kingsman 2.
It definitely didn't change any way that I feel about anything, because I didn't really care for the first one, honestly. I thought it was alright. I'll see this because I know the action will be well directed, but like, as far as the story goes, I don't even know. Colin Firth is like dead. Spoiler, but I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. It's just weird for me because, I mean, it's just, you would think that something like this I would know more about because I accidentally know so much about Marvel and DC and the whole fucking thing. Like, Anthony, like,
Accidentally.
kind of accidentally because, like, so many people talk about this shit. Like, I know, like, I mean, it's just weird that I know who Martha is. Like, it's just fucking.
Well, you learned it through osmosis.
Yeah.
Hey, with the internet bitching and moaning about Batman versus Superman, yeah, it'd be kind of weird to not know.
Martha!
Yeah.
Hey, don't call me the internet.
about the Kingsman trailer. This one looks way more and far more wacky than the first one was. Like far more wacky. I mean, like literally, you can cut to the trailer and it's a motherfucker with like a lasso and it's like powered up and shit like that.
It's
I'm
like
like,
Wonder Woman.
It's very
This is
clearly
Again,
like-
great
they're still
comic
trying to
book,
make
man.
lassos that do that shit cool, and it's always gonna look stupid, always. But I know what you mean. It looks like because the first one was, it was wacky,
It
but not like
was
cartoony. Like maybe near the end it was, but it still was a serious movie. And I'm worried this is gonna do the whole, every action movie sequel does, of it's trying to just do what the first one did and just doesn't do it nearly as well. So that's my biggest worry walking into Kingsman 2.
I just can't wait for the sequel where they go to China or Japan and we have to deal with that racial stereotype. That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be great. They're just
Samurai-
ninjas and shit, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
well, you say that, Alan,
Yeah.
but like looking at this trailer, like it seems like they already kind of doing that. Like I get shades of like Guardian of the Galaxy 2, where it's pretty much just trying what to do with
Oh,
the
it's
first
not
one
gonna be
did, but like 10 times more. Like it's already like in the trailer you can see like a bar scene, which is kind of like making a riff off the first one, where Colin Firth was in the bar scene and he actually beat the fuck out of everybody with an umbrella. So it seems like it's gonna be along those same lines. And then plus they even quoted the guy too, like "Manners maketh the man." So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
kind of one of the lines of the characters. That's fine.
Mhm.
And referencing I just hope it's not just like, hey, let's just be wacky and gory. I'm just like, no. The first one was a down to earth movie until the last 20 minutes.
But here's the thing.
yeah, exactly.
I'm because Kingsman 2, that's whatever, right? I mean, hey, Alan likes it. Julian's like, whatever. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I would go through everybody, but I don't know if people care that much. But here's the thing. I'm going to bring a trailer that we're all excited for. You ready for this? I'm going to show you really quick.
Ooh, do it,
Star
do
Trek
it.
Discovery, man!
Oh my god!
Oh, I was wondering where you were gonna go with this. Yeah, it exists. Okay,
Yeah.
and just
I will say this: Star Trek Discovery. Me and my mom was talking about it like not too long ago. The fact that the main guy, and like, quote me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong here. But the fact that the captain of this, because I don't think it's the Starship Enterprise. I want to say it's a
no,
different
it should
name.
be.
But whatever the starship is, the captain of the starship is not only a female, but a Black African American female. Bravo! Like,
Tasha from the Walking Dead people.
Yeah,
So you
Sonequa Martin Green, which, for one, the one thing I don't like about her is that apparently her name in the fucking show is Michael. It's
Wait,
like-
isn't it Michelle? And
Are you
just told her
sure?
to read?
No, it's Michael. Michael.
That's Michelle.
Wait, what?
is
No,
it
it's
true?
not. Look at Michael
that is
Myers.
Michael. That is
Yeah,
Michael.
no.
That's
Wait.
Michael. Alan, you're fucking
B-A-L?
retarded. Like, come on, man. Like, that's Michael, man.
Yeah,
That
my
is-
my uncle has literally like the same exact spelling, Michael.
I'm pretty sure a woman's name isn't Michael. Wouldn't it still be just pronounced Michelle, even if it's spelled differently?
But that's the
No.
thing that's funny about it.
No, Alan, you fucking fail.
That's
Ah!
funny. But no, I am going to call you retarded. No, I'm sorry. Because it is weird. I think Star Trek's retarded. Because I think maybe IMDb fucked up the spelling on this goddamn name. I'm going to show you right now, too. Here's the IMDb page because I wanted to make sure if I was wrong or not. But there it is. Michael
Oh, yeah.
Burnham.
Oh, never fucking mind. Forget I exist.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's amazing to me. And I mean, it's
No,
just
no,
kinda
it's
weird.
European. It's Mikel.
Yeah, Michael.
That might entirely be true because she could be British because for some reason space people have British accents.
Yeah,
Well, she's
exactly.
American. Like,
She is.
you've heard her voice before.
Yeah, but
She's
she
Sasha on
could
Walking
do it.
Dead.
She could pretend to do a British accent.
But even so, it's just weird. Maybe, I mean,
No.
hey, there's a different place. It's Star Trek, it's in the fucking
Yeah, exactly.
world of Trekkie
They
crazy.
didn't really make up any fucking rules in the rules. It could just be like you say, Nick, just the Force. It could just be like, oh, because we're in space. So they could just pretty much do anything and just have the space thing as the ex machina. But like I said, that is actually kind of cool that they having this girl be like the main character and stuff like this. Star Trek, never really been too much of a fan though, but I like this hasn't been the first time that a black person has been like the captain. I don't know. I want to say Deep Space Nine, right?
Yeah.
That guy was in charge. That I
Deep
can't
Space
remember
Nine.
the black guy's name, but yeah, I think
Benjamin Sisko.
yes, thank you. But yeah, he was actually in charge. He actually did a fucking great job too. He was like really stern and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that for that aspect alone. But I'm just
Wait,
like,
did you actually watch this, by the way, Anthony? Deep Space Nine?
I actually used to watch it, like not too much of it. Like, it's like I know like some of my family members were like deep into Star Trek at the time too. And plus, like you know how much we a bitch for like everything that's wrestling related or has something wrestling related.
Oh, and The
So,
Rock
like,
was on this shit.
yeah, the Rock and all that stuff. Yeah, like wrestlers
Damn.
and shit like that. So I had to check it out just to see what was going on. But yeah, I used to be somewhat. You know what? No, I can't call myself a Trekkie. No, I was more of a casual fan and just like that type of stuff too. Like around that time, that this and Stargate. Like I mostly tried to check out the television series of Stargate too, which is funny because they bringing that back, which is
Yeah. no, I can't wait. I love the Star Trek show when I watched it, SG-1. I can't wait for the new series.
I didn't even know you were a fan of this kind of stuff. Like, I'm actually really surprised to hear that from you. You know?
I'm not a huge fan of Star Trek. I'm basically like Anthony. Like, I enjoyed the movies, but I never really could get into the TV show. But Stargate's fucking great.
Now, one big thing I want to bring up too, and this, I'm not, no more joking around. I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to talk about the main thing that we know we want to talk about. I'm going to wait too, because Allie had to go and take her dog out to take a real big shit, like this big, like 10 inches.
Like
No.
10 inches.
Yeah.
Like,
Woo! Yeah, big dookie. Stupid. But here's the thing, though, and Julian, I want to see. I know you and Ruthless probably like this a lot too. But yeah, everyone talked about it a few months ago. But it's here. Fucking Stranger Things, not Dragon Slayer. Stranger Things season 2.
I legitimately got happy for a Dragon Slayer
Stranger
game.
Things. Sorry.
God damn it.
Wait, what'd you say?
can I say this? Like, I know you had asked Julian and Ruthless, but that Thriller remix that they have in the trailer is really fucking cool. Like, I love the fuck out of that, man. Oh my god, just that whole just like vibe of just this 80s type stuff, and then the whole idea that in this season they're going to use like Ghostbuster type equipment to like try to catch some of these monsters and stuff like that. I'm just like, I love the personality of this fucking show. Like, I really do.
Yeah, no, and it's badass, because that's the thing, like, Julian, I don't know if this actually, because, I mean, I don't think anything that we've mentioned so far has kind of got you hyped, but as far as this goes, did you see this? Did it get you hyped?
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
feel about, man?
Yeah. I think that trailer looks really great. Yeah, Anthony like took the words out of my mouth. I think that the music like sets the tone perfectly, and I love seeing them like I love seeing all the characters together again. But one thing that I thought was neat was, like you mentioned, they're using the Ghostbuster equipment, and it wasn't just like how you'd expect it just to be like a throwaway gag in like any other show. It's like, no, there's like several scenes where they're in the Ghostbusters costumes because they're awesome and they're kids and they're committed.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, now, Allie, how about you? Like, I mean, I don't know if anything that we talked about so far has gotten you hyped, but this, I mean, you're like, Stranger Things! So, like, what'd you feel about it, man?
I mean, hey, I freaking love season 1. I mean, that was like my favorite Netflix show to date. So I'm super excited. It looks freaking awesome. I can't wait.
Okay, so here's the thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, wasn't there a situation where it wasn't kind of like a cliffhanger? It was kind of like, yeah, people, this is almost like, not an anthology series, but it's just like this whole story, this story arc is basically, it could be done. Right.
Oh no, it was no. Like,
It
I
was
guess it reached almost it reached a certain point, but like the last few minutes of the last episode, it was like, oh no, motherfuckers, we're doing the season.
What
2.
they did is they completed the story. They fought the villain. They dealt with the problem, and it was over. But then they left essentially Easter eggs of, well, there could be something else happening, and now they've confirmed there's
With
other
the same
shit
characters or just the same, like...
Yeah.
same characters, yeah, all the same
characters.
characters. Everyone's
Yes.
back. It's like a sequel series. It's weird that they're putting a 2 in front of it, like it's a video game or something, as opposed to just saying season 2. So that's kind of cool.
Nick,
Yeah,
it
or
had
that
the
could be.
same.
Yeah.
Nick, it had the same ending as Rec 2.
Oh, okay. I see. I know what you mean.
Wow, that
Which is
is
still kind of cool. But I mean,
Yeah.
I really want to watch this show. It's just like the fact that there's season 2 with that.
You haven't
spoiler-
watched it?
No,
I mean,
I'm busy as
I
shit.
Hey, it's
We
8
gotta
episodes.
watch it.
I was telling this to somebody earlier too, Nick, and I will say this: like, you got to be careful with these type of things because Stranger Things, it is a good show, but I think the hype actually made it like go way overboard because it does a lot of things that is really fucking tropey, and a lot of things that you kind of like, I don't know about that. Like, they kill like one of the characters they kill at the very beginning that you like, come the fuck on, did you really need to do that? And then like some of the CGI, like granted it's a Netflix show, but some of the CGI for the monsters is kind of like meh. But I think it's more of like the environment of the Upside Down and more of the characters. Like these kids, if you like the kids, then you'll be fine. Like those kids make the fucking show. Like 11, especially Toothless. I can't remember his name. I really love that guy. That
Me too.
motherfucker is
Everyone
like-
loves him.
I mean, it's a
He's
short.
so
It's
adorable.
an 8-season show, or 8-episode show. So it's
Yeah,
like
you-
you know.
You could binge watch it in a night and stuff like that, but I would say like don't let the hype like set
Determine-
the quality to determine the rule of the show because you might be like vaguely disappointed. Like I said, I was telling somebody this earlier. I'm just like, don't follow the hype. Just watch it for what it is. So,
Yeah, and don't discount the adult characters because they were some of my favorite. I love the detective and the mom. The mom gave
I
him
like the
the
detective.
mom-
The mom, not really,
the
but detective, I
mom-
like the detective.
the mom, she had a hard job to do because she had to be frantic and stuff like that. Where's my son? But it was that point where that shit was just kind of heavy-handed. So that's what I'm trying to wonder what they're gonna do in this season since she has her son back and she's just trying to figure out what the
Even
fuck is going
crazier.
on. Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with you? So I was just screaming and shit
Starts
like
smacking
that.
him.
It's like, like you understood her emotional connection to her or something like that, but sometimes there was some moments where you're just like, But I will say this: out of Stranger Things, and Nick, me and you always been talking about this too, because like you get a little bit more into synthwave and EDM type music and stuff like this.
Man.
This show has that tenfold. Now that out of all things considered, from the show, the best thing I walk away from the show remembering is the music itself. Like the score and the music is fucking phenomenal to me. Like it's so good, especially if you love 80s type synthwave type stuff. It's so fucking good. So.
Yeah, and before we continue, because I know that Ganja and Ruthless haven't said a whole lot. And I'm going to go start with Ruthless and Ganja, your main event, so don't go away, motherfucker.
I don't know the show, so I'm gonna run.
Yeah, but Ruthless, you are a dude, like, every time I talk to you about something, you always bring up, like, no, I'm really into Westworld, I'm really into this show, or Black Mirror, or this or that. So, like, where does this kind of rank up with all the TV that you currently watch right now? Like, is Stranger Things, like, fucking awesome to you, or is it kind of like, yeah, it's just hype? Like, how you feel about it?
Yes and no. I think for some, in my case, a lot of the stuff is stuff I grew up with. So I really kind of approach it from more of a, all right, that was a cool reference to this thing or that. I think the show is really well made. I don't have anything bad to say about Stranger Things, but it doesn't get me hype like some people get hype, I guess, for it, which I guess is a problem for those people. I don't give a shit. But it's a good show. I don't have anything bad to say about having watched it. I really liked the actress that plays Eleven. And oh god, what's the other one? The Barb. I liked the actress that played Barb as well.
Oh, Barb.
Far.
As far as as far as people I liked on the show, as far as what their portrayals were. But I mean, it's a good show. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I just don't have anything. I'm not hype on Stranger Things. I'm sorry. Like this is not my show.
Yeah, and I'm not too surprised about that because, like I said, it's just like for me, it feels somewhat empty. I feel like everyone's like, "Oh, that's cool that it has a certain like feel to it," but it's just like for me, it's like I can just go back to the old shit. Like I still watch 80s shit all the time, like Critters and Gremlins and fucking.
Yeah, it's an alright show. Like if you're not in love with the 80s, like I'm not in love with it, but it's an alright show. Like for me, it really got better the second half than the first half. So like it's one of those things where it's like if you keep watching, eventually get better.
But you, Alan, I'm gonna go ahead and use
I think
you for something.
if you weren't around for the 80s and you've seen all of the 80s television and movies after the fact, then this is probably going to be a show you're going to like more because you're getting these references that you didn't necessarily get to grow up with. For me, It's like, I definitely was a Ghostbusters kid. Yeah, no, I definitely liked Michael Jackson, like all the rest of us in the 80s. Yeah, yep,
Right.
no, I noticed that reference. I got that, and so I think that's the cultural disconnect between generations.
Yeah, it's just like Adam Sandler with Pixels. Like, no, I'm just playing. No, but here's the thing. I'm not trying to insult this shit. No, but the thing is, though, and Alan, I'm going to use you for something really quick because I do want to take a break from the Comic-Con shit. I really, really do. I mean, because this whole fucking show might as well be called Comic-Con Chat Attack. Like, Jesus Christ. So we're going to take a quick break from that. And you, Alan, this is still trending on web. It's not trending necessarily on YouTube, but this is something that's been happening a lot. And Alan, I think you're the only one's going to give a fuck about this. What's going on with the goddamn Doctor Who thing? Because I guess people are bitching like it's fucking Tumblr all over again. Like, it's a girl playing. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, just to give a brief thing of it, no one knows anything about Doctor Who. It's a British show. It's been going on since like the fucking 60s. Goddamn. It's been going on for a long fucking time. It's been going on for a long fucking time. Maybe I was wrong about the exact date, but it's been one of the longest running live action TV shows of all time. And it's one of those things where it's like, they write into the show that the character changes into a different actor. So they go through different iterations they call regenerations, and every so often it's like, one time they're old and they're young, and this keeps happening. They've had like 12 different actors play the Doctor, and now this is the first time they're doing a female. And it's pissing off essentially a small sect of the fans who are bitching that it's a female. But that kind of always happens whenever they change it to something drastic like that. You have essentially a small portion of the fans, because most people are interested in it because they always do something interesting with it. But the main issue is like, the Doctor's always been a male, and now the Doctor's a female, and it's causing a lot of controversy.
Having a female regeneration phase, though?
They've been talking about it for years that they were going to
They've had it happen in the show multiple times to different characters that are Time Lords as well. This is something that's happened in the universe before. Hell, I was watching one of the most recent episodes, and one of the guys turns into a black female.
Okay, yeah. See, that's the thing about this show. Like, it's just it feels so weird because I've heard so many other things, and I can't even like just say this shit right now because I'm just kind of like, for one, it could be a spoiler, and two, I could be saying the wrong thing because I never watched the show. But it's just like it's so crazy. I feel like that's the reason why it's lasted so long is because you can just randomly just do shit. Like, I mean, that's the same thing I complain about Star Wars. I don't feel like Star Wars has been around as long just because it's so good. It's because who the fuck knows? You got this huge universe. You got all this stuff to play with. It's like having an infinite Play-Doh. Like, of course
that's the great thing about the show. You kind of nailed it right on the head. That's why I kind of love the show, because it just does. Like every episode, it's like they're not necessarily connected they kind of just like, hey, this is a random place in the universe in time. Either we're on Earth or we're in some random part of the universe, some adventure that we got to solve. And it's always fun and interesting because they always do different unique things. And it's not a high budgeted show, so sometimes you'd be like, some of the effects are cheap, but they always do something. They always try to do something different and interesting. And then when they have their 2 or 3 part episodes, it's always incredible. And every Doctor adds their own personality. David Tennant isn't the same one as Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. And now with the female Doctor, I'm really curious how she's going to put her personality onto the Doctor.
Yeah, man. So that's the thing. I don't know.
I'm actually really happy about the Doctor Who situation. So that I was really happy to see that.
And the one thing too, and I guess it's somewhat of a segue in a sense, and this is where we have to get down a little bit. Oh yes, it's that time to get all sad Julian over there, poor baby. No, but I'm just like kind of surprised that. Stop,
What are you doing with your mouth?
Did
No,
he
he
just
does
turn into a
faces.
fish?
He's a sight that smiles back.
They always do that.
That was my sad face, my depressed face.
Alex, did you hear that?
It
Anthony was being called by Aquaman.
was, it was my drama face.
It's cool, damn it.
Sinkity sink sink. No, but here's the thing. The smack that smiles back. My fucking situation here is I'm kind of surprised that people are still talking about Doctor Who when so much crazy shit's been going on lately with the whole like just people just dropping off like flies, you know. And something even happened today, or maybe it wasn't today. But anybody over here know who John Hurt is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dad from Home Alone.
Yeah, man. Fucking John Hurt's gone. And I thought it was John Hurt. I was like, damn, he died twice. Holy shit.
Yeah, that threw me off for a second because I misheard
Hey,
it.
man, George Ramo died. The fucking zombies came out.
Yeah, man. But no.
Came
like,
back for one more movie and said, okay, I'm going back.
Hey, you didn't know Larry King actually died 5 times.
Fuck you for saying that.
No, he doesn't. He just has
First of
6 hearts, man.
Let's be honest. When that motherfucker goes, everyone's gonna be like, "It was about time."
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I'm looking over here, and I didn't know who the fuck this dude was, and I just went through his like filmography and everything, and yeah, like Home Alone, the whole thing. And I was actually gonna put him in the bumpers today just to pay some kind of respect. And the only thing that like he's good at, or I feel like was funny, was he's in an airplane, and his wife's like, did we forget something? He's like, oh, I put the garage up, I locked the doors, Kevin. And I'm like, that's her shit. That's not even him. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like, shit made that movie more iconic than he was just kind of like there. And when I actually went back to watch his filmography too, like it was like he played in a lot of movies, like kind of just always in the background. Like he was in Pelican Brief at one point. He also was like in Sharknado. And I was just like, what the
Oh,
hell?
God.
No.
Like weird ass like movies too. He was in those weird 90s movies like where he was kind of like just in the background and you just really never known his work. That's why I guess most articles when they said he had passed away, they was always bringing up Home Alone. That was like the most iconic, I guess, out of his whole entire filmography, which is kind of fucked up in a sense.
Yeah.
man.
He's in a weird one though too. He's in the '80s movie Chud.
Damn.
And he's in Big, apparently. I didn't know that before. I was like, wow, you're in a movie, but there's only one guy who's well known, Tom Hanks, and like you're still not remembered. Like, holy shit. Like, I'm not trying to like. I want to be respectful and everything too, but I don't want to sound like I always complain. Like, even Carrie Fisher died. I'm like,
Oh, that's why I recognize him. Yeah, he was on a random episode of Person of Interest. I was
And
like, he
Sopranos.
looks so familiar, Yeah.
yeah.
Plus, he also played in White Chicks too, which I don't even
Oh,
remember
God.
either.
God,
So it's
no,
just like,
no.
Looking through his filmography, he's been in like everything. So it's like someone's
just
like, "Hey,
like-
we need a guy in the background." Okay.
yeah, like he always like you. Oh, it sucks too.
Reliable actor that you have in the movie, but he wasn't going to take away the movie.
Oh wait, say that again really quick, 'cause I didn't hear you.
He was one of those guys that you could rely to have on the movie and be strong enough to be in the scene, but not take away from your stars in the movie.
Exactly.
He's not going to run away with the scene.
Yeah, which it sucks too, because like when you hear about these people dying and stuff like that, it's just like, oh, this guy from this one role or this guy from this one role. Like I even blame myself. Like granted, what's the guy that plays Willy Wonka? I'm blanking on the motherfucker. Gene Wilder. Yeah, Gene Wilder. Like even just like I'm mostly people know him from Willy Wonka and stuff like that, or like film buffs, they know him from like Blazing Saddles and some of this other stuff that he actually did. But it's just like it sucks because these guys are so talented that they only know for one specific role. And like in this case, in John's case, like you see him in the background in all of these movies, but you really don't know his work. Like he never got that big break, and it sucks because it shows you that like even like in like some like it's comparable to like the West wrestling industry. It's always got to be like these top guys, and it's always got to be like these middle guys. Like that's always just gonna be mid class. You never gonna be the Tom Hanks or the Tom Cruises or the Will Smiths. It's just people that's just always gonna be middle of the road. And maybe they just fine with that. They like, hey, I'm just happy to be in the movie and getting paid to do something I love, which is cool too.
He looks like a dude who's like, hey man, it's fucking awesome, dude.
He's like-
Yeah.
He's an asshole in Big though, man.
But it
Yeah,
just
what
really
I don't
makes
remember
sense.
that. Like, what was his
Okay,
like-
so you know in Big where they work for they all work for that agency or whatever. He's the one that brings up the female lead in Big having fucked all the different guys in the office. That's him in Big.
Oh, sorry, I was drinking water, but goddamn, that sucks. And I remember that character too.
Yeah,
Doesn't
like he's
he
a
also-
complete asshole in Big.
Where's
Doesn't
he?
he? Doesn't he also in Big bring in like the toy building, and then Tom Hanks is like, "What's so fun about a building?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's him.
And by the way, too, I would love a fucking toy building. I'd put all my action figures in the middle, like knocking on it, like, hey, I live here, get out of my fucking yard, motherfucker. And then they start shooting stuff. That'd be great.
It's a
But-
building
hey.
with legs and arms.
Yeah.
You don't.
Nick,
You're
Let's
alive.
go. Let's invest in that right now. MCA
That's a
play set.
terrible
Who
idea.
would play? Who would play with us? MCA play set.
No.
Everybody comes with their own attachment. Gonza comes with a bong. Nick comes with a chocolate bar. I come with like a little Necco thing. Like, come on now, let's do it.
Dude, you know what I want to turn
Oh,
your
dude.
intro, your MCA intro, into an actual building that you can play with, but all the buildings are orange and shit. Like,
Dude, that would be the place.
It fucking works because we can use Allie to get the girl market and have her with like a bunch of accessories so we constantly sell a little
a bunch of makeup and shit, and a fucking
Yeah!
pony.
Let's go.
Allie, sign
do
the
it.
contract so we get your likeness.
Fucking Alan with a bird and shit. With
Just be face palming the whole fucking time.
and then he has he has an opinion gun. He just shoots shitty opinions on everybody.
Oh, that's rich coming from you, motherfucker.
He's got real life bird action. You just put a little switch on his back. He goes like this.
Yeah, Nick will have an attachment where he can just attach to a wrestling stand and just.
Hey, there we go, dude. I'm down for that. Me and Anthony's house will have rain ropes around it. Oh man. But here's the thing. Okay, so we're over here. We're talking about this dude, right? You know, it's like, okay, like we're not gonna cry about it, whatever. But the thing is, I damn near cried when I heard about fucking George Romero. Now, Double Toasted, you know, we're affiliated with Double Toasted, and they already did their whole thing, so I'm not gonna like waste everybody's time and etc. Everyone.
DT
watch
Live?
it. DT Live, full life. But the thing is, though, that was bad. Fuck you for
Oh,
laughing at me.
that was good. I love that shit.
It's like, it was just stupid. But the thing is, George Romero, man, I fucking love George Romero so much, and that's why tonight we're doing the whole like viewing party thing to be watching it. But I'm kind of curious because I talk about that all the time, and no one really says anything. So I'm kind of wondering, am I by myself? Like, do you guys like George Romero at all? Or?
It was a big thing. Like, I didn't cry anything like that. And Nick, I remember telling you too, because like the younger generation, it just goes to show you that he still has like this huge impact and people don't even know. Because I was just like, yeah, I told my brother because he's a big fan of the Call of Duty franchise, like Call of Duty. Because like I told him, I was just like, dude, yeah, George Romero died. He was like, who again? I was like, yeah, the guy that's in the Call of Dead Black Ops map that's like hitting everybody with a fucking like spotlight, like that guy. Like he's the DLC, and it just goes to show you, like, even though like it's a dumb reference or whatever, but it's like George Romero is the modern day god of like he's the creator of the modern day zombie. So his legacy is gonna be just transcend film for years and years and decades to come. Because it's even funnier because that same day, me and Nick was even talking about it. The same day, a Call of Duty map for another zombies map came out.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny the exact same day. It just goes to show you that his legacy just still lives on. That classic, that modern day zombie that we love. It would be no Walking Dead. It would be no 28 Days Later. It would not be these big zombie movies without George Romero. Like, he created this icon, this movie monster. And he, like, bravo to him. Like, just bravo to this motherfucker. Just like, yeah, like he like it's everywhere. Like, even with dumb games, like that's this game that I play that everybody judges me for. It's called Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, I
And
fucking
it's
hate
good.
your guts.
Oh,
God
no,
damn it.
Unbelievable motherfucker.
I know.
pervert.
Sorry, Anthony,
I
man,
really
but-
like that game. I really like that game. Fuck y'all, I don't care.
No, it's a great game, Anthony.
That
You're
game
right.
fuck- no,
like
man,
the game.
nah.
I really
No,
like
it's a
it.
great game.
It just shows you, but like when
Fucking
you
dumb.
look in the game though, like the school in the game is called Romero, and it just goes to show you that his legacy is every fucking where, no matter what. So
I
it's just
wish
like,
he sued them.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's crazy
Yeah.
because you are right, man. Like I
Yeah.
thought you were bullshitting, but like yeah, like I just looking at it, I can see certain things. I'm like, yeah, this is obviously like some type of homage to him, and not to mention just having zombies is obviously just an homage in itself, or it's a ripoff, and that's a weird thing too that I kind of wonder. when you see Walking Dead or Black Ops Zombies, or whatever, like, where do you draw the line where it's no longer homage and it's just I'm gonna rip off his fucking idea?
Oh,
if it sucks, it's a ripoff. If it's good, it's an homage.
And it's
I'll
almost,
say it's-
it kind of irritates me in that sense. And I'm kind of curious too, like Anthony, like I know you're gonna have a great opinion, but I'm actually gonna ask Julian really quick because me and you always argue about certain things. I'm kind of wondering, like, if you're gonna say something I'm not gonna agree with. So Julian, like, take the spotlight here, man. What do you feel in that sense?
Well, when I was studying horror movies, like, it's not even that, you know, he created like an iconic monster. He defined an entire genre. Like, it goes beyond like having the monsters around. Like, there's zombie movies where like the zombies don't even show up. Like that movie about Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. Like, I never saw it. Yeah,
Maggie.
like that's like a really small, low key movie. Or like it's just, I don't know, man. His reach is just fucking ridiculous. Like, what Anthony was saying is right. Like, we wouldn't have a lot of things without him.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing that's kind of crazy too. Is like, you know, even Maggie. Like, I mean, I think that was a very awesome movie. But the thing is, like, just the idea that people call these undead things zombies, it's almost like opposite of homage, because if everyone who's really, really into George Romero, they're not zombies, they're ghouls, is what he calls them.
Yeah.
Like, they're supposed to be ghouls, and it's like he never liked the term zombie. He never liked what they did with The Walking Dead. He's just
Yeah.
like, you guys lost the whole fucking point of zombies. You guys want the gore. You guys want this crazy shit. And it's like, and Ganja, I know you don't even like this, but even when Dawn of the Dead, you know, like, he always has some kind of like, you know, side reasoning for the movie, trying to get some kind of message out there. Something that Anthony would probably do if he was making a fucking movie.
This guy has a point, man.
Yeah, guys, say something with it, man. You know.
I fucking hate you guys for saying that.
I know, he just hates it because we used his voice.
No, it's not even that. It's
That's
because
not Julian.
it fucking Dawn of the Dead makes a fucking brilliant statement, and like what he was doing with zombies, like that whole idea, like that's really clever. I thought, but I guess
Oh no, man! I thought that was like one of the moments where I saw like cracks in George A. Romero as a fan. Like, I was like, okay, his politics are a 14-year-old boy. Everyone's so dumb and so consumer that even in death we'll all go back to the mall. Ain't we all parasites except me because I see
Yeah.
the difference, man?
And it's funny too, because Ganja, you know what I think of, and you'll get this reference, but he's the son of fucking Frank Burr on F is for Family. Like, George
Yeah.
Romero is the son, basically. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And he never grew out of that, because even now, and I didn't know this until Corey Coleman, which is kind of weird, and it shows how, like, I haven't been paying much attention, but Corey Coleman even brought it up on the show. Apparently, he was, like, talking shit about Walking Dead, saying, like, I could have did a episode or two, but you guys are just a dramatic series, you're a soap opera. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's a fucking story. Like,
See, that pisses me off because like he had a chance to direct an episode. I know when they invite directors to do that, that they have a certain set they have to follow. Like there's certain plot lines and plot points that they have to hit. But overall, they have free range to direct an episode, character development, all that stuff. I don't get why he just didn't do all the zombie stuff. Like if he said a lot, like they were lacking on zombie quality and giving the zombies reason and purpose, he could have done that for the episodes he directed. As long as it's within their framework. He just wanted to be that asshole old guy like it's not good when I was young.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of people that do that. Like, it's kind of funny too. Like, those people that define a genre always have like that almost sense of entitlement. Like, oh yeah, it won't be shit without me. I know I could do a better job. I mean, look at George Lucas. Like you said, look at George
Ridley
Romero.
Scott.
I mean, look at like even my idol, Miyamoto. Like, a lot of Nintendo products get fucking like fucked up because he's always having this whole old school mentality of video game. Like, it has to have a point or purpose or some kind of peripheral shit like that. He gets in the way of the fucking company. So it's like always those guys that was like big fucking legends that defined a generation and a genre. They always come in and be like, hey, no. This is not good. You're missing the point. It's not good. This is bad.
and the thing
So it's
is,
just-
like, I had to
it's like-
pull you in a sense, because Anthony likes to challenge certain things. He challenges me all the time, and I gotta challenge my. I love George Romero, and I gotta do that because he be saying shit like that, and then you see something like this over here, Resident Evil 2 video game trailer, where he did like a live action little like promo thing here, and this is pretty fucking cheaply done. It's just like, oh, get it, zombies, right? Like, it's just like you said nothing with this shit. You did nothing different. You just did zombie shit, like how everyone else kind of ripped them off. And I'm like, well, then why didn't you do Walking Dead? Why did you have to do Diary of the Dead? Which, by the way, he did that because the whole like found footage thing was taken off. And it's just like, it's kind of frustrating. Like, I love him and everything's cool, and it sucks that he's gone. But it's like, it was kind of full of shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And-
No, like some people like just get too old where they just like it's almost sucks because like we even say this about Vince McMahon. It's like this motherfucker just get disconnected. So they just really just don't know. And maybe he probably could have did a really good job with The Walking Dead and stuff like that. But it goes back to my original point of just are they ripping him off or are they doing homage to him? It's so weird because, like I said, he's so linked. Like when you think of the modern day zombie, you think George Romero. So it just sucks because he's so linked to it that it's just almost like it could be a ripoff, it could be a good proper homage, but at the same point, it's just like, does it? I want to say, does it really matter? Because like he's at the end of the day, his name is still spreading farther and farther and farther and farther. So he's still at the end of the day, George Romero, that guy still fucking wins. Like just kind of like when any Marvel property gets named or anything like that. Granted, he's still doing the cameos and shit like that. But when you think Marvel, you think Stan Lee. When you think zombie, you think George Romero.
I disagree. Like lately, from George Romero, like I know we're talking good things about him because the man passed, but let's not forget, like towards the end of his life, he was really not doing a lot much. And I think the last movie he was working on was another zombie movie that came out that was kind of mediocre.
Oh,
I don't know if it was
the Dead.
Yeah, Survival of the Dead. I didn't even watch that shit. So, like you saying that people are gonna remember him, I don't think so. I think people are gonna remember what's his name, the guy that makes Walking Dead.
Oh, Robert Kirkman and Greg Nicotero.
Yeah, I think those guys are gonna replace George Romero with the next generation because you got to keep in mind George Romero is big on our generation because he was still making movies, he was still doing celebrity cameos, he was still out there in the circuit. But like for the last 10, 15 years, he disappeared. My little brother's 100% into zombies, like I was as a kid. I bet you he don't know who the fuck George Romero is.
And it's almost like George Romero wanted that in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, like I said, I had to like break it down to my brother. Like he only knew who he was because he was in that fucking DLC map as a character. So that's the only reason why he knew. So.
He's gonna be a legend, like regardless forever. But one of the names you mentioned, Greg Nicotero, he's been in the business for almost 40 years now, dude. He was a special effects. Yeah, he was a special effects artist for Evil Dead 2. So, like, he's been a legend in the zombie special effects game, like, since it started almost, like, when it really started going. So, I think that Nicotero is a legend, but I think that Romero is a bigger one and always will be.
I disagree. I think we're going to see Romero as time goes by, starts to get pushed to the wayside. He's going to be like one of those famous directors that you hear, like Coppola and all those guys will reference their favorite directors. It's going to be like that. We're gonna have to.
I agree with Ganja on that.
Yeah, who's Hitchcock?
Well,
Never
that's
thought
too.
that
Like,
guy anymore.
Yeah, and
but if you're a fan of Coppola and his movies, you're not gonna automatically know that Hitchcock was the inspiration for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, like you both make great points, and I'm with Julian just because, like, for me, like my dad, like he didn't give a fuck about movies at all, and that's why I don't give a fuck about movies to an extent, because I grew up and I had to get myself to be like a cinephile before I met other cinephiles and noticed I fucking hate them. But the thing is like my dad told me, he's like, dude, no, like this is a fucking thing that George Romero wrote for high school. And then, like, kept working on it and then made a fucking movie. And then literally chose a black actor to, like, star. The first time ever in a horror movie that a black actor. And then they started the whole, they're like the Mortal Kombat movies. Because apparently that's when they started bringing in the R rating. Because they were like, this is so fucking intense. Like, you guys won't be in movie theaters. We need to, like, make a new fucking thing for y'all.
Yeah. Originally it was a mature audience only. So you had to actually go with your parents or they didn't allow kids over the age of 21.
Yeah, exactly.
21, damn.
Like I said, he has such an impact. It's gonna be kind of hard to forget. Like maybe with time will tell. Time will tell.
And my first thing is like, Nick, I don't know if you noticed this, but like the reason that it got that rating wasn't even from the gore or the violence or the racial stuff. It was mainly from the little girl killing the mom.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing the rating boards had a problem with.
Damn, and I mean, I guess that is intense, but I mean, what are you saying, Alan?
No. That makes perfect sense. A child killing someone, that's a lot of ethical barriers that. Like you could tell a focus group be like, no, we can't fucking have kids seeing this bullshit.
Yeah. No shit, too. The way that kid did it, too, is like, I like that scene as well. Cause he's like, actually, no, we can't even talk about it because it's spoilers and we're watching the show tonight. Which, by the way, people, once again, I'm probably gonna post that link in the straw poll, whatever, inside the chat again. But people, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and then afterwards, you guys want to watch Crazies or just be crazy. It's all good. But now, while we're on the subject of death and of the dead, this picture, this particular frame is like, holy shit. I remember this interview.
Oh boy,
man, they were telling us, bro. Like, they were telling us. Chris Cornell on the left, who's now past, gone now, and then Chester on the side. I'm just kind of like, wow, dude. Like, can we start paying the fuck attention? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, wow.
It really sucks too because it's just like, when you listen to like these musics and like they're like, because a lot of, like you say, you always say this, Nick, like a lot of rock songs and stuff like that, it's always about death and these kind of just dark subject matters too. So you kind of really think in the back of your head, like, yeah, some of these motherfuckers are not great in the mind. And Chester kind of like him and Linkin Park always kind of like did their music in a sense where they kind of like he made his pain known that he was suffering depression, not even with his music but through his music as well, that he was just like, hey, I'm having some of these problems. And like Trey told me, like just and a lot of other people, like I was watching Taka, like we know him in the Double Toasted community, but he was just saying like how Naruto and Linkin Park music videos and just Linkin Park's music kind of just helped him through PTSD and when he was in the military. And Trey pretty much just telling me the same thing. I'm just hearing all these stories. And it's kind of funny, too, because when I was in high school and middle school, people used to shit on Linkin Park. They was like, oh, that emo shit. Oh, that emo shit, man. All this emo shit. And it's kind of funny now seeing these motherfuckers saying, oh, my God, Linkin Park, especially when Chester passed away and stuff like that. And just seeing, like, the longevity and just how much he just spread. Just like Chester, his message, not only his message, but just Linkin Park and just how much that shit just spread throughout our generation and how much it meant to us and how much that helped people not pretty much do what he wanted to do, which is commit suicide. So,
And I know that, like, I was going to call him Chester because y'all white, but Julian.
Damn.
No, I know Julian's in tune with this shit because me and him had talked about new metal and shit, or at least when new metal was good.
And one thing I want to mention, though, and I'm sure someone else remembers this, I think it was like maybe a month, maybe 2 ago, someone sent an email to Corey and they were asking, it's like, basically they were saying, why can't Linkin Park make shit like this anymore? And like they were saying like how they moved on and how like they don't do that shit. But like Anthony, the time you're talking about like in high school, I think maybe this is around the time, like isn't that when the first Transformers movie was coming out?
Oh no, that was a little bit later on.
Because that's when they started to suck, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was still okay, but like back in the day, like around the time where YouTube was starting to take off a little bit, I remember like around 2003, 4, 6, like I say, AMVs, and people, y'all, I want to see if y'all can remember this, but y'all always remember seeing the Naruto, the Rock Lee Gaara fight during the tuning exams while Linkin Park's In the End was playing on a loop over and over again. And you'll see just like 1,000 of those fucking videos lined up in the search results. And it's just like, and it's kind of funny too, because I used to hate those fucking videos on YouTube, but just like hearing these stories now and people saying like they use that music and shit like that to help them, it made me look at those AMVs in a different light. It was like, hey, this shit actually helped people not kill themselves and shit like that. And hey, if it's doing that, then I can't really judge it for it. So it's just like,
a thing that Allie said, and this is kind of hitting me home because now I feel like a fucking old man. But like you're saying, like they kind of became cool when Transformers featured What I've Done in the movie and everything.
They became mainstream. Like what people were saying, like, oh, it was uncool to like Linkin Park. And then when What I've Done like featured with Transformers, everyone was like, oh my god, Linkin Park's so great. I have like all their albums. Like, shut up.
But the thing that's weird is like for me, that's when they started getting bad, and that's when I remember people started making fun of people because I grew up like in the 90s and one step closer, which I actually put in the bumpers today, but like one step closer, everything you said to me and boo 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 boo, the whole crybaby shit. But the thing is, like,
I like how you show me.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I that's what I grew up with, and that song alongside Drowning Pool's Bodies, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, the whole thing. Those were like the two big songs where, I remember on the news, like, are these songs making young kids kill other young kids? The whole fucking thing.
But that happens every fucking couple of years, man. Exactly. They always find some artist to blame for bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's just like, I remember that's when they started becoming cool, because I remember kids were just like, oh shit, this song's about fucking like breaking and beating someone's fucking head in, man. And then they started doing that whole emotional shit. I remember Breaking the Habit came out like 2 years after.
That's my favorite song by them. I listen to that all the time, like to this day.
Yeah, and like that's when I tapped out. I was like, Breaking Habit, he's like, this boohoo fucking.
Oh man,
I love that song, man.
I know we're appreciating Linkin Park, but I had a real hard time getting into them as a kid. Like, besides the dude Mike Shonda who does the rapping, I always liked his shit.
Mike
but like
Shinoda.
when it came to like Chester and his
Mike Fanta.
It's like Shonda.
Mike Honda? What?
The dude that raps in Linkin.
Yeah, Mike Maserati. Yeah.
Yeah, that motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about. But like me personally, I never really enjoyed their stuff. I felt like the guy was too whiny, and like I felt like, especially when I was coming up, like that's was like those emotional kids that were like always asking for attention, drawing goth shit. Like a lot of those kids listen to that shit. So I stayed away from Linkin Park for a lot of years until I think their Bleed It Out album came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually liked the mixture of that hard rock with his rap solo. But besides that, I was never really a huge Linkin Park fan.
And that was all Minutes to Midnight, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, Minutes to Midnight.
Yeah, that's
No, it's kind of funny that you say that, like those kids too, because like you was right. It was 3, and it could probably be more, but from what I can remember in high school and middle school around that time, if he was listening to Linkin Park, he was probably listening to the other 2. It was either Pillmore or what was the other one?
Fuck Paramore.
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, My
Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Okay, but fuck Paramore.
My Chemical Romance has 3 good songs. The rest of that shit is bullshit.
Yeah, 2 good songs are Black Parade
And Ruthless.
and
Not okay,
Famous
man.
Last Words.
Oh, like I said, Evanescence. You was listening to those. Like he was
fuck
listening to those.
Evanescence, but
Now,
So I
Julian,
just-
really quick, I'm just gonna. This is the only time me and Julian are gonna fucking connect. Like, this is gonna build to our future fucking friendship, brother. Because
like they're talking about these bands. It's like I was listening to Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit. I don't know what the
thank
fuck
you.
you're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
man, I don't know what you guys are gonna say. To this day, I've never heard a Limp Bizkit song. To this
Man,
day.
no, me and Julian, because I was listening to Linkin Park, Slipknot, Korn, Limp Bizkit, older Papa Roach, and fucking Disturbed, dude. Like that's the shit. Like,
First Papa Roach album.
And when he means as a kid, he means yesterday.
but no, that's the thing, man. Like, Stained, for instance, too. I mean, no one talks about Stained anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But Aaron Lewis and Chester Bennington were some of the most fucking like sing their hearts out and start sweating on stage too fucking much guys. like,
That's everyone, man.
That's true. That's true. But no, I mean, that's the thing. But one thing I had to bring up though is like, okay, like we're talking about the goodness of Chester Bennington, the whole shit, and we are all depressed and everything sucks. But then I see something like this, and this is actually what I felt. I'm not feeling this way just because he's from Korn, but this is something that's big that's happening. Apparently, Brian Welch, one of my favorite guitarists of all time, literally the reason why I play guitar. I guess he called Chester Bennington his suicide cowardly. He even made a video later on too, talking about how like he's apologizing, he's just really upset, the whole thing. But I don't understand why people are like, no, it's not cowardly. Like, you should talk shit about suicide, in my opinion. I think if you're gonna commit suicide, you are fucking weak. And I don't feel bad for saying that shit. I mean, I don't know, and now it's quiet.
I don't know, man. Like, I
So
might
Nick
feel
is
the opposite
all
of
on
that.
his
Like,
fucking own for that bullshit. I want to say really quickly to anybody who deals with these issues that folks are here for you, and we understand that sometimes you don't want to talk to us, but it's important for you to be here, and we understand why you get to the point where you feel like that's the only answer. It's not about cowardice. It's not about weakness. It's that you've been fighting this whole time, and it feels like you're fighting only by yourself. But I guarantee you somebody is there for you. Just reach out.
And the thing is like when people like make that choice, like it's not something, you know, they're like, well, you know, it's a Tuesday, feel like killing myself, you know? Like, it's
something that builds, man.
Like you
I'm
were
killing
talking
myself on a Tuesday.
But you guys were
Shredded
talking about
Tuesday.
like people talking about like things, you know, and saying these things. And I wanted to mention, anybody listen to Danny Brown at all? Because he
Of
has
course.
this new song called "Ain't It Funny," and that song is literally what you guys were talking about, Nick and Anthony, like how people are like saying in their songs, they're like, "Yeah, I'm sad." Like in this song, he's saying literally like, "Yo, I have a coke problem. My friend's bringing hookers and an 8-ball, and we're all about to fuck. Can someone help me?" But isn't this funny? Ain't it kind of funny? So like, you're right, Nick, that it is something that you should like deal with head on. But it's a touchy subject in a way. It's like you don't know how someone will react. And like the other example that I always like to point at is like Robin Williams. Like I bet you every fucking person who hung out with that guy was like, man, he was the life of my life, you know? And to see someone like that go, that's like seeing like, I don't know, that's like seeing Superman kill themselves in a lot of ways. And Chester Bennington, for a lot of people, was that Superman. So I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it's
tough, and it's hard to find that particular thing. I'm sorry, Anthony, but like it's just like one of those things where I'm just like, you know, we can all kind of choose to be in the middle, right? We can all choose to be like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, fake indifference. I'm gonna be totally cool, which is I don't want to say anything bad, but I'm gonna say the thing bad because it's just like when you have kids, man. Like, you know, I'm not going to go into a lot of shit, but I think everyone in this fucking community has thought about offing themselves at least once, right? Like, I mean, I'm not going to, I feel like we all have thought that. It's just human nature, you know? It's like, oh, what would have happened, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, you know, I've thought about it, and then I've been like, no, I'm leaving people behind that I could probably fucking, like, you know, serve elsewise. You know, I could do some good shit. And, you know, yeah, life isn't fucking good. This planet sucks, by the way. I think if we sit down pros and cons for, like, why we should be alive, cons would so fucking overweigh the pros.
Yeah, but Nick, you're thinking of that too rationally than people with actual depression, especially in that moment of where they're having a severe anxiety attack, and their only source of escape is to off themselves. Like, that's my problem. People are like, oh, well, think of your family, think of your kids. Motherfucker, that's like thinking of fucking your family when you're in the middle of a heroin withdrawal and all you focus on the last gram you can get. Like, fuck your family. You focus on what you can do to end your pain at that moment.
And I'm glad you said that, but that's the thing. It's like, that is a sickness. Like, drug abuse, depression, that's a sickness.
It's a sickness, but, like, guess what? Like, most sicknesses can't be cured, and this is one of those ones that are personal. And a lot of people, especially people like Chester, who get to a height with their career where a lot of things they dream and aspire for, they achieve in a certain manner one way or another, and they're still not fucking happy. Like, yeah, 6 kids and love a wife, still not fucking happy. It's like, saying they're cowardly, I can't say that, because eventually, like, those people will break. Like, you can't, like, stop those people, because if they're constantly feeling like shit, they're just gonna always feel like that. And eventually, if they can find a way out of it, good for them. But most people, I don't know. I just think you deserve your own life in your hands when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta try hard, because in the end, it doesn't even matter.
I will kill you, Julian.
Again, what a fucking joke. But it always goes back to this thing, and I can personally relate, like, not to, like, the whole situation in that sense, because, like, granted, like you said, everybody's always thought about this. Like, what would happen if I just off myself, if I'm just not here anymore? Would the world be better or worse or whatever? But it just always goes back into the thing, and it's a lesson that I'm actually learning this year. Just, like, it's really essential. And I know it sounds cheesy, but you really have to understand the importance of yourself, loving thyself. Because, like, if you get that under wraps and understand that you can do it, like, with nobody's help, not even to sound selfish, but just be confident in your own abilities. Because I know it's like, we all have it. We all have that little voice in our head, because I know I do all the fucking time. That always just says, you're not good enough. You're not enough. You cannot do this because you're not enough of a person. So sometimes you got to, like, learn to embrace that little voice in your head and just be like, hey, what are the things that I can do? What are the things that I can control? What am I good at? What I can do to actually make my life a better thing? And granted, some people go like that, have these depressions or suicide because of what shit happens. But if you realize that you're a good person at the end of the day, then it's just like, hey, you have to be comfortable with yourself. Like they always say, you got to be comfortable alone before you actually be around people and shit like that. So I think that's like the big fucking thing right there. It's just loving yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and certainly, Anthony, what you're talking about is something that people deal with. I know for me, the difficult thing is not the voice that says, hey, you know, nobody's going to appreciate what you do. Nobody wants you around. It's the voice that says, this is really difficult and there's an easier way to deal with this. And you don't need to be doing any of this anymore. We could get rid of all these problems right now. And from the first time to the last time I ever attempted suicide, it was always that. It was not I need to have people care about me. It was, you don't really want to deal with this bullshit. And, people would constantly, it seemed like people were disappearing. And that's one of the things I always talk about. Whenever I sometimes will do a post on Words Don't Do It Justice. Sometimes we'll talk about it on my show. It's those moments where you don't want to reach to someone else to talk to them, because talking to someone only makes you realize how much you don't want to be around people. Yeah. And it's in those moments that you still got to talk, because the reality is there's so much more you can do than you're doing, and you don't get that chance when you're gone. Like, we only get one shot at this. But the struggle with depression and anxiety is nothing to laugh at, and it only gets more difficult the more successful you are. Because I can already imagine it. And Chester said he's thinking, I'll never be vocally who I was on those first couple of albums. I'll never have the kind of success we had at the beginning. I'll never feel that same level of excitement for every show. And going through that on top of whatever else he was going through, that's a difficult thing. And I just, when you guys brought the subject up, I didn't want to. I don't want people to think just because you hear people here talking in a happy fashion, you hear people telling you, like, don't give up, think about the things you can change and handle, that's not always what you're dealing with out there. Sometimes you're dealing with, like I said, the voice I just talked about that just says this is an easier way. But the better way is to be here and see what you can do next.
And
the better way is to do the things in your life that you wanted to do, and damn the people that don't give a fuck about you. Like that's the better way.
And the thing is, to jump on that voice that Anthony was talking about, like just telling you, like, hey, you ain't shit or you ain't nothing. Just tell that voice back, like, shut up when I'm talking to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's another League of Fart joke.
Hit and a miss.
Well, pal.
God damn it.
No, man, but the thing is, dude, to jump, I mean, we could go back to Comic-Con and everything, too, It's just, like, to jump on this, too. It's just to know, like, the one thing that frustrates me, because here's the thing, like, I feel bad, and it's rest in peace, the whole thing. The thing that frustrates me is, like, people, like, I mean, I'm looking at the chat, and I don't want to call anybody out, but you did put it in the chat, so I just want to bring it up. But, like, Adrian said she struggled with this kind of stuff before, and, other people had said the same thing. But it's like, we don't have resources that a motherfucking millionaire have. And I know someone's going to say, hey, man, like, it doesn't matter how much money don't mean shit, the whole thing. But it's like, he's out there drinking, he has some drug problems, whatever the fuck. Like, that's a privilege, in my opinion. If you're a person who goes out there and does drugs and fucking drinks and does all this shit, and then you're going to go and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't get help somehow, I just don't. It's like, fuck you, you're escaping the easy way. You've taken the easy way the whole time. And it's like, go find some fucking help. Don't just make more problems out of this shit. Like, I don't agree when people go and drink to feel comfortable around people. Just talk to people. Talk to us, MCAs.
Yeah, all the stuff you're saying, Nick, is easier said than done from somebody who's never actually had to fight these battles himself.
No, I want to get into it. It's like, it's not like I'm not talking from lack of experience.
Well, you're talking for someone who was able to overcome them, and you have a more spirit to do that. You're not talking for someone who's tried it and failed repeatedly.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe you don't have enough. You don't have anything versus like what Chester had, millions of money. You know what I mean? Like, you were fighting like an overwhelming battle. All of us do.
And one way you could look at it, Nick, is maybe he felt comfortable doing what he did because he had all that money. He knew that his family would be all right.
Yeah, and that's the only.
There's a lot of ways to look at it, man. Like
it's so complex, man. It's so complex. Like, some people just feel like no matter what they have, because I know a YouTuber that I follow, he's like sponsored, and like I said the same thing. Like, why is this guy depressed? Like, he's getting all these fucking toys and shit like that. Materialistic things, man, will never feel like those voids inside. Like, that shit will never feel. And sometimes love, people saying that they love you and care about you just won't fill that void aside. It's just something that they have to deal with personally and have to get over with personally. They're like themselves as being their own worst enemy. It's like you almost like fighting at that. It's like when you pick another character in the battle selection screen, you find like the doppelganger of yourself. It's like you got to beat that person, not anything else. So it's so complex. It's so fucking complex, man. Like, we really don't know what people go through. And sometimes, and like, I'm not even speaking from like personal experience, but just from people that I just seen, man. Some shit that people go through that just, it breaks their spirit. It just breaks them. Not even break their soul, but just breaks their spirit, and they just become broken. Like, they just literally die inside. They're like still walking on Earth, but they're already dead. So it's just like people like that's just gone, and you just sometimes it sucks, and it's unfortunate I say this, but sometimes those people can't be saved. They're already gone.
And that's the thing, too, and just to end this all off, and then we'll get into question tonight, and we'll be like, woo, Comic-Con nerd shit, capes and superpowers.
Yeah, I've become so numb.
Oh, god damn.
Hey, man, fall into my skin. Sometimes these wounds will not heal.
It's crawling, motherfucker.
I know what I said.
God damn it. No, but here's the thing. You know what's crawling in my skin? The next thing.
Crawling up your ass, Nick. Let's go.
No, but here's the thing, though. One more thing to bring up. Because you stupid, man. Fuck you. No, but, like, one thing that people don't realize, too, is just like how I said it, because I sound like an asshole, too, saying, like, hey, man, I'm not going to show you anymore. Fuck you. But it's one of those. God damn it. Fucking gotcha just. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But the thing is like, these people, we've been told this for how long, Anthony? When we listen to these songs, and the motherfucker's like, in the end, it doesn't matter, and all this shit, and he's like saying all these things, and it's like, what can you do next? Or what can you do more so to really put it out there? I'm going to fucking kill myself. Fucking help me.
Well, it's always these frontmen too. Like, look at like what is his name? The frontman of Nirvana.
Oh yeah, Kurt Cobain.
Like, yeah, Kurt Cobain. Like, that motherfucker only not just killed himself. He did it like in a spectacular fashion. So it's just like,
that shit was Courtney Love, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of, that was a crazy bitch.
But that's the thing. It's like, it's with everybody though. It's with so many people. Like, dude, I worried about sometimes about Eminem. Like, and just all the shit that he went through.
Oh, he's fine
That's
now.
fine now.
Yeah, but you never know. I mean,
Don't know.
Next
but even
fucking week.
Jonathan Davis, that's another thing. I mean, there's literally songs where Jonathan Davis is like, I just want to die. Like, I literally want to kill myself right the fuck now. And it's just like, I see that all the time, and everyone's like, oh, that's a good song, right? That song where he says he wants to kill himself. Woo, yeah, play that on repeat, dude. Fuck yeah. Like, 99 cents for iTunes, man. Like,
And it hurts. Like, you always say this, Dickie. You say, like, dude, why you always got to be the John Cena, shit like that. Me being the John Cena, and I wish I could fucking turn it off. I wish I could just go over there and just, like, doop, and just, like, not feel anymore. But, like, seeing these type of people and, like, me always being the person that, like, I want to be able to save everybody. I always want to be able to help anybody that I can on the road and journey that I am. Because I'm still trying to find myself, so I want to help everybody else find themselves. But it kind of sucks because, like I said, it goes back to what I said earlier. Some people that just can't be saved, and they just dead inside. And it's just, as a person like me, seeing like if I met Chester or something like that, it's just like, God damn it, man, I really wish I could save you, but I can't.
yeah.
I can't.
And that's the thing. It's just like, maybe we should all learn from this shit. Because, like, people are just dropping off. I mean, it's just like this guy, that guy, whole fucking thing. And it's like, maybe just, like, stop being a consumer at a certain point. Because these aren't just, like, businesses. These are people doing songs that they pulled from inner fucking demons and shit. And it's like, let's not lose sight of that. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is pretty bad. And when there's a song about suicide or some shit, instead of, like, singing along the lyrics and telling her, you know, young youth
at
sing
the
the
same
songs too.
time,
I think the only
that
one.
is-
Oh no, go ahead, Julian.
I was just gonna say, at the same time, though, there's another side of the coin where suicide and like all these other things have been glorified in music. There's a band called Suicide Silence, which really encapsulates everything we've been talking about.
Suicidal tendencies.
But exactly. But the biggest hit from what's it called? System of a Down. Self-Righteous Suicide. That was the original name of the song Chop Suey, but the label was like, are you fucking crazy? No.
Yeah.
But like that's literally what the song is called. It's called Self-Righteous Suicide. So like, I mean, and they're glorifying it. So like, I don't know. Like it's a complicated thing.
Yeah.
Like what I was gonna say, but when Julian finished his point, like the only artists I've seen them successfully like transfer their suicide thoughts, their self-destruction thoughts, and actually like said to the audience that this is not good, I think is Eminem. Because when you listen to a lot of his records, he's talking about like debauchery, like fucking himself over, doing a massive amount of drugs. But in the end, he's always mentioned like his song "Role Models." It's just about him abusing himself, and it always ends with the chorus. Well, you just want to be just like me, don't you? When you grow up, want to be like me. So he's just letting people know that it's, so he's letting people know that this is not good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That just when you hear something like that, like spread that shit. You know, it's all not singing to lyrics about like I get the knife and then I turn it this way. You know, the whole shit. I don't think that's a song, by the way. That I just said. That's me and Julian in the fucking audience. Like, oh yeah,
That's an old 1950 song. Go baby, get that knife so we can fight Hitler across the way.
Walk down the street, not across.
No,
Make sure not to bring it to the colored bathroom.
But rest in peace, Chester Bennington and fucking John Hurd. AKA John Hurt, whatever the fuck his name is, and George Romero especially. Like, you know, we talked some shit. We were very honest about certain things, but love all three of y'all. Fuck, fucked up week. But now let's go into some silly shit. Okay, what's the worst? I know you do that, Anthony Wilson.
What's the worst buyer's remorse you've ever had? And Allie, you said you laughed, so I want to go with you first.
Yeah, y'all know what
Ticket
mine's
to Rogue
gonna
One?
be. So
Is that the one?
Matter of fact, I'm more interested in what she's gonna pick on the list, being her friend with this line.
I'm excited for Alan, honestly, but go ahead.
okay, so I've been eyeing these Givenchy boots for like a long time. And I was on a consignment website and I saw them in a 9.5 and I was like, oh my God, finally. And it was actually like in a price range that I could afford. But I know my feet are true 10s. But I'm like, well, sometimes I can fit into a 9.5. So I was like, okay, let me buy them. I got those boots and yes, they were beautiful. But they were super tight, And I tried my hardest to stretch them. I tried everything to stretch them out. I bought like special chemical stuff that you rub on the leather to loosen
Somebody
it
that
up.
sells that shit, that never works.
I know it doesn't, but and then like the actual boot itself was so uncomfortable because the heel was so freaking arched. I only wore them like twice, and I spent $500 on these.
Oh
boots.
my god!
And I only wore them like twice. And I'm like, why did it? And the worst thing was, I found some boots at Coach that were literally like 3/4, half of the price of that. And they're so much more comfortable. And there's everything I could ask for that I wanted in a
Allie,
leather boot.
I'm
That's
so
as much
sorry
as my
to do this to you.
tablet cost.
Allie, I'm just saying,
I was like-
$500 for boots. I'm sorry to do this to you, girl, but privilege. Like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
come on.
Are you thinking like
No, I saved my hard-earned money. I saved my hard-earned money on them, okay? It's not privileged. I worked
yes.
for them. But I was stupid in my spending, and I would have $500 more to spend in Austin if I didn't freaking buy these
I'm
boots.
so glad we were able to talk you out of those Star Wars boots, though.
Oh
the
yeah,
Man,
I
I am
remember
so
that
glad
fucking
y'all did.
conversation.
I am so glad y'all did. I would have been like, you guys. I'm just...
And if you guys
She's
don't know
gonna-
what she's talking about, I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna leave it on Allie so you can see
Oh,
her
no, you
face.
still have the picture?
Oh, fuck yeah, we do.
No, I'll
Oh
show
my
you this
god.
shit. I'm looking this
Is it?
up.
No.
It's
We
all-
all, we all looked at those shoes like, Allie's going to break her ankles.
Dude,
Oh,
this
yeah.
shit, bro.
that's true.
I still can't believe
Well,
you
those
actually
weren't
want
the
to buy
ones.
those.
Those weren't the ones, but those are cute.
Oh, they're horrifying.
No, I'm done. I'm not buying them. I'm just saying
Says
that
that
you're
now
kind
you
of
see your
cute.
eBay cart.
Step away from your wallet, girl. Step
I'm not
away.
going to buy it, Nick, I swear, but if you send me the link through Facebook, I would appreciate it.
Now, here's the thing, too. Like, I will say, these look fucking badass. Like, I'd buy these fucking things.
Don't.
All right, those are
No,
clowns.
they're Vans. They're like Vans with like BB-8
You
in
can
it.
fit like 4 people in them. They're vans. Like,
They're expensive enough.
What fucking dance were you doing, the creeper?
no
I
shit.
got
What the
my
fuck was
first
that?
I got my first kicks. got my kicks on, man.
Pause some
Got my
NWO music.
kicks.
No, but stupid. Okay, Alan, I'm sorry. We would build up to it like it's a main event, but dude, I'm sorry. We know what the fuck it is, bro. And you probably have a lot.
Well,
Just
I have
come out
a
with it.
bunch, but I'm gonna do one that I wish I stuck to. I argue a lot with everybody that I've ever met, but I've always stuck to my guns, and I've always never backed down. And this is the one time I backed down. So when Destiny got announced the first time, I was like, that game is gonna fucking suck. It is published by Activision and made by Bungie. That game's gonna be a piece of goddamn bullshit. And then I played the alpha. I'm like, that's pretty good. Okay, maybe I was wrong. I played the beta. I'm like, oh, this is the same thing as the alpha. Okay, I'll buy the game. Maybe it'll be good.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I
Nope.
paid for the season pass as well because I'm like, maybe it'll be good. Maybe.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It had a Star Citizen guarantee with the.
Oh!
You fucking piece of shit.
Because I got it right here. I was about to segue into it, but you did it for me, Julian. Star fucking Citizen.
No, because I enjoyed the hour I played of Star Citizen was better than the fucking 6 I
Just an
sucked
hour.
into Destiny.
$80, just an hour.
No, because the thing is, it's so remorseful. Because if I stuck to my guns and never bought it, I would have been like, I would have won. Like the game, like it got shitted on. People stopped playing it. They sent me an email at one point, like 6 months after the game, asking me why I wasn't playing it anymore. And that was the funniest email I've ever got.
Oh, man, dude.
I got a bunch more, but that's the first one that pops into my
And
head.
then they sent you another email saying, "Hey, you want to check out that Destiny 2 beta?" Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I refuse to fucking play. I'm not even gonna pick the fucking game up. Fuck that. I'm not giving them any more of my
No,
money.
but Alan, we're not done yet, though, sir. You are a special case, buddy. Because what about this over here? Why don't you tell us a story about this?
I gotta bring up old man.
Man, I love it because I was warning. I was like, man, Double Toasted said it was bad.
Hey, everyone
Hey,
in
man,
you.
Alan,
Yeah.
it's not just Double Toasted, man. I'm reading Yahoo. Rotten Tomatoes says it's not good, Alan. I wouldn't do it. No, man, I'm a fan of Assassin's Creed. Everyone shits on Assassin's Creed. But I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna check it out. Come
Why
back.
Alan Mickey Mouse?
That's how he sounded to me. He was so
Everybody.
he was so hopeful, Anthony. Like he was like a little kid just hoping this shit worked. God dang, you were fucking right. I hate it, man. Why?
Man, everybody that I've ever met, except for like 2 of my friends, hates Assassin's Creed and all the games. So I'm like, whatever. People don't like Assassin's Creed. That's fine. I'm sure I'll like it. I was texting the entire movie.
I'm just like, here's the thing. I'll be honest. I just don't spend money on movies because fuck, every single movie is just like sucks. But the thing is though, like I was with Ellen. I thought this shit was gonna be good. Because how do you fuck up Assassin's Creed the movie? How the fuck?
I can tell you.
All you needed was to do was the Matrix, but with climbing. That's all you needed to do,
So
and cooler
fucking
outfits.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
God,
Julian,
yeah.
when this movie came out, did you have any kind of like, what'd you feel about this before you saw it?
I saw, there's a guy in VR, and they're going to put knives on him. Nothing bad can come of that. That's a perfectly normal, good idea.
God, dude. And then that fucking claw, like, I felt like, I was like weird. I was like, wait, when does Assassin's Creed become like a stuffed animal, like, claw box, whatever the fuck? It's like, it's the claw! And then they grab Michael Fassbender and shit.
You Pixar referencing motherfucker!
It's just weird. Like, it's like he comes in there, he's beating all these guys, like, it's the claw! And they grab
That
him
would
and
have
they
made
take him
more
away.
sense.
Stop it, you damn animals! Hitting them down and shit. Oh man.
God damn it.
Oh man.
I'm
Oh,
sorry, man. That fucking movie was
I
ridiculous.
almost quoted Toy Soldiers like it was Toy Story.
Wait, Toy Soldiers? What
I almost
fucking...
said we're more than just a toy.
No, but we talk about the buyer's remorse and stuff like that, and I have 2 examples. One, of course, I had my mom bought, and buyer's remorse was that. But Def Jam Icon.
But it had all the good early 2000s.
No,
Dude,
I
it had
pirated that.
okay.
I
Mike
pirated
Jones,
that.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Mike Jones.
no.
Even I didn't play that, and I loved Fight for New York.
I love Def Jam Fight Vendetta. I still think Def Jam Fight for New York is like one of the best beat 'em up games like of all time on the PlayStation fucking 2.
Dude, that's
But,
the
like,
best
when I-
wrestling game.
Yeah, like it's right up there. It's so fucking great. It's like the mechanics, the wrestlers. I mean, not the wrestlers, but the characters in there and stuff like that. Plus, that game fucking taught me about rap.
Anthony,
Like,
Raw
some history.
versus SmackDown copy their relationship.
Dude, the
like-
story mode is really good for that game.
It's crazy. And the sad thing about it, Def Jam Icon, I will actually say that game actually had a few great ideas. Like, it's this whole thing in the campaign where you can actually, like, profit on songs that you actually play on the radio. It's actually teaching kids about finance and shit like that and the music industry and how to, like, you know, travel songs to keep them playing on the radio and stuff like that. Like, that's actually really fucking
No
cool.
wonder it bombed.
And like the whole the DJ mechanic too, I think that could have like integrated really well with the blazing thing. But like I said, they fucking stripped everything else. They kept it only to a 2-player game. Plus they took out the 4-player thing. Like I said, they took out the blazing moves. Like the character roster was not even all that great. The fighting is fucking stiff as shit.
Yeah, look
And,
how
like,
fucking long it takes to do anything.
Yeah, like,
Jesus fucking
it's
Christ.
bad. And it's like I think you can have a health bar, but it's like really just keep hitting until one of them is dead or whatever. And then like I said, like the stage hazards are actually not that bad. The music selection is fucking terrible compared to Def Jam Fight for New York. Like it's such a worse game. Like,
Wasn't
it's
that
so
around the
fucking bad.
time where they were actually just like worried about the graphics and how the games look? They're like, "Hey, look at this gameplay; it's cool looking, right?" And then people would play it, they're like,
No,
This
it's
looks
EA.
nice.
That was
being
back when
fucking
EA was
stupid.
killing off their franchises, because around that same time they released Burnout Paradise. So I know how you fucking feel, man.
yeah.
They just didn't care. Like EA, literally, that's when I stopped giving a shit about EA because I'm just like, yeah, you literally fucking killed the franchise. You literally just killed one of my favorite things of all time. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it's bad. It was really bad, and I've really regret that purchase ever since like today. But the other thing too, just a quick story, because I was like actually in Vegas and I actually used my own money for this, but it was like this Nestle bar. It was actually like this Nestle. It was actually in Nestle or whatever in the hotel, and they had like these peanut butter bars. I felt really fat after eating the whole thing. Like I was actually gonna come back and share with Ganja in '90s.
Bitch, I saw you.
Yeah, he saw. I was like, he was like, you want some? And he was like, you see the fucking open, like just closed bag, just empty, and she was just like, yeah, the shit.
I thought he had some because he comes in.
Yeah.
I was like, Anthony, can I get one for you first back?
I'm like, I regret doing this shit because
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
bad, man. I'm just licking up the crumbs.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you was such a fucking fat ass dude.
I was like, can I have one more? Can I have one crumb?
I was so ashamed of myself, man. I
Uh,
was so ashamed. I was so ashamed of myself. I regret doing that.
I'm gonna
But
give mine really quick because I know I'm gonna get certain responses with this, but
I
I'm
hate
sorry, I
you,
had
Nick.
to admit to it. Wait, what? What'd you say?
I hope this is good because I fucking hate you, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. No, but this game, fucking Justice 2, y'all. This game fucking
Man,
sucks.
and the worst part is, I'm upset you hate it because you ended up buying it for me and Ali, and I appreciate that so much. But I'm just upset that you don't like it.
I've really I keep going back to playing this fucking game. I
love
kind of
it.
hate it now. Like
Damn.
it's so like they literally did that shit that NES does, where they make this shit so fucking hard that you feel like you're getting a whole lot of worth out of your game. Like, oh, I'm playing it, right? So like actually playing it on my system like fucking counts for something. But you're literally just getting your ass kicked. And I'm like, you know what? At a certain point when someone's doing like a 20-minute combo on me and I can't fucking do anything, this is gameplay. I could just watch this shit on Evo or something. Like this is fucking ridiculous.
Hey,
But-
Evo's hype.
Yeah, but Julian, like I know you like this game. Do you agree with me on this, or are you kind of like, fucking?
No, man, I don't know what the fuck you're on about. I think that game is like it hurts me how fucking cool that game looks and
It's
is.
cool, but when you see it, because I play it, dude. Here's the thing, like, and I'll admit to something, because I went on the show and said it was good, right, Anthony? You remember that shit when I was like, oh, it's hype, bro?
Yeah, you was hopping on me. Oh, that's why I'm loving this, because you was hopping on me. Granted, the game didn't come out yet, but you was just like, man, why you? Come on, man, they tried, man. They got the characters. You just not gonna get it because of Static Shock. I was like, nope, it's not getting my
I heard
money.
that argument.
No, but the fact that they literally tell you, and this is like some Call of Duty shit that I can't stand either, but they do that shit where it's like, hey, we got DLC for you, and you get to have the DLC, we buy it. And granted, it costs an extra $30, but when you buy the DLC, you don't get it. You gotta wait 3 months. And then they give you it in
Oh yeah, you bought the
piecemeal.
season pass. So.
Yeah, but then they give you in piecemeal. I'm like, at least Call of Duty tells you ahead of time you ain't gonna get this shit for a while. And Justice 2 is like, oh, they're right there, you get to play them right away. Oh, and this is what they look like. Oh, and here's some actual gameplay footage. Oh, sweet, so I guess it's out. Nope, can't do it. Dude, one of the big Comic-Con things right now that's going on trending, and we're not gonna talk about it, but that's Spitfire shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Hype.
like, the game's we've seen her 4 months ago.
but we didn't see her moves, and they also announced like a few cool costumes. Like there's a Bizarro costume that's coming out for Superman. I think that's pretty cool. Like I don't know, man. I like how the game is out, but they're still secretive about certain things. Like it keeps it like fresh, you know. Like when they announce that Spawn's in the game, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I really hope they do him cool. I really hope they do his cape and stuff like that. And granted, yeah, if you really don't like the game, you probably wouldn't give a shit about like the DLC, because I thought Deadshot looked interesting, Sub-Zero looked cool, and like you said, Starfire. I wonder who the fuck they modeled her like against, because she looks hot as shit. Like I'm like, god damn, she looks fucking sexy. But like, yeah, her moves look really fucking cool, and I like how it's like a lot of combo based like characters. Like all the characters that's coming out look really combo heavy too. And I guess that's probably where you come in, Nick. Like I guess you really gotta learn, like sit down and actually like that's kind of like anything, like with any fighting game. You gotta really devote your time in order to learn the combos, learn all the moves, learn all the unblockable attacks, and get the rhythm so you can actually like play people online. So so maybe it's just like that high learning curve.
But it's not even that too. It's just like once you get to a certain level, like I mean, you can max out these characters level 20, whatever, and you can do that. I mean, I did it within like 4 hours. You know what I mean? And
all of them?
No, not all of them, just one at a time.
Okay.
But like, yeah. Oh no, that's fucking impossible, dude. Holy shit. Like even with cheat codes, I won't be able to do that shit. Oh my god. But the thing is, though, I do have all the characters almost maxed out, but it took me a few days. But the problem is, once you max them out, there's nothing left. You can get armor and whatnot. You can kind of increase that if you're lucky. If you're able to get like those really big, what are those things called? The mother loads?
The mother packages or whatever. But the thing is like the multiverse. The thing that's really awesome is like if you pay attention to the multiverse, every once in a while they'll have one that's like, hey, defeat these 3 enemies and we'll give you a platinum mother box or like 2 diamond ones.
Yeah,
and it'll just be there like for an hour. So like I don't know, I think that's cool. It reminds me of in Mortal Kombat how they had those
living towers.
Towers. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And one more, I'm just gonna bring this up really quick because I gave you that. We argued about it, whatever. But this is something you guys are gonna make fun of me for, so I'll give you something since I laughed so hard at Alan. I spent $90 on this shit.
Man, I was about to buy this. I was about to buy this game, and a buddy of mine's like, "Don't buy it; it's awful." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't read the first one, so fuck it. I'm not gonna buy it."
I'm a fucking retard, Julian. I know. I'm fucking stupid.
$90 for that?
So
What'd you
this
buy?
one-
The season pass?
You know what, Nick? You know what? Your ass don't defend me. Here I go defending your ass again. But to be fair,
Why did you come up like you're an old man?
That was great.
he was like,
Dirty
oh,
motherfucker.
Nick is undefiled, that motherfucker.
Wait, Nick, stop him from defending you because the next time you talk shit about him, he's gonna bring this moment up.
Yeah, he's like, motherfucker,
To be fair, the first Dead Island isn't all that bad.
No, it's
like
fucking
I actually played it and actually kind of like enjoyed it for what it was. Granted, it wasn't like that fucking amazing ass trailer, but when I actually played, I'm just like, yeah, it's fun for what it was. Granted, it is kind of repetitive, but it gave me a few hours of entertainment and stuff like that. I don't think I bought it. I think I actually had rented it. So like, you know what? On that fact, I can totally see you getting Dead Island Riptide and stuff like that. And you think they will probably fix all the issues because Dead Island, the first one, actually had potential too. So it was just like all the other stuff that you can actually fix with a sequel. So I can totally see why you were like,
Yeah, the sequel called Dying Light.
So yeah,
fuck.
I know you don't like the game, but they literally took Dead Island and made it a better fucking game. There's only one mechanic in Dead Island that I love, and I love the smashing through the door mechanic. Like where you have to kind of like press it and get in the right moment just to bash through. That's cool, but that game is fucking repetitive as shit.
No,
And-
Julian, I was going to ask you because you were playing Dying Light like what 2 weeks ago?
Yep, and I was just gonna say, shout out to fucking Jordan. Me and him have been playing that game, and I have a little bit of buyer's remorse, but I'm just gonna voice Jordan here. Dying Light is like an icon for like broken games for Jordan. That game was so fucking boring when we were playing co-op. I was like, "Hey Jordan, is it fun yet?" And it's like, when do we get the lasso or like the grappling hook? He's like, I don't know. Let's just keep playing.
Fucking end.
We had to beat the whole campaign.
I don't know why they sold it on that, because you can actually never get the lasso and still complete the game.
But
Yeah,
that's the thing,
but, like,
I hate that fucking shit, man. Like,
It didn't start getting fun until we got the DLC and there were cars.
yeah, but it was so, dude. I'm telling you, I really, really do not like that game. The thing is, though, I bought that game when it was $10, and for $10, it's fucking awesome. But anything above that, it's like,
We bought it.
I
we
don't know,
bought
man. I got it
for
full
20
price
with
season
all of
pass,
it.
and that's like one of my favorite games that came out that year.
and what were you saying, Julian?
Like, we bought it for 20 with all the DLC and all that shit. I don't hate it as much as Jordan. Like, I've been having some fun with it. But, like, it just feels so like, all right, you're at point A. Go to point B. You are at point B. Return to point A.
Yeah, literally. And it was like, it's nighttime. Time to go home. Mama gonna be angry.
The thing that almost stopped me and Jordan from playing the game, like, we almost were like, fuck this shit. When they were like, get the sample from this one zombie that like wasn't showing up at the spawn points. Like, me and Jordan kept running back and forth to the fucking like the nighttime thing to go to sleep and then wake up, go to sleep again, wake up, see if the zombie's there. Okay, it's not. That was like 2 hours. And then we got so lucky that someone randomly joined our game and found the shit, and then they fucking lagged out. So that's how we beat that mission.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
fuck
it's-
that game.
Yeah, no, fuck that game hard. And I'm actually curious, while I have you talking too, like, what is something that you know, have a big buyer's remorse for?
So that was going to be my answer, but I hate 2 weeks ago I wouldn't have said this, but I bought one of those really awesome Xbox One controllers, the one with the paddles
the
on
Elite?
it and shit. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to show you. There's duct tape holding both of my bumpers because
Wait,
they will
did it
fall
come like
out.
that, or did it break?
They broke. And I have a 3-year warranty that when I go on my trip, I'm going to send it back. I'm going to be like, bitch, give me a new one. But, like, if this tape's not there and that's not there, they'll, like, pop out and not work. And
Those things are
this
supposed to
one
be
is
like
giving me
really
trouble.
fucking well built.
Yeah,
So that's
except for if you look, and I was looking online, this bumper right here is the one with issues, the right bumper. So, like, this, it was on sale. It was $120, and I got a $25 gift card with it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, fuck.
I can't, man, because I always want to get. I was on the same. I've always wanted to get an Elite controller, man.
That was his wallet speaking through him.
That was fucking amazing!
Damn, I can't believe you spent that fucking money on a controller.
Literally.
That's
I
not
remember
even
it.
some buyer's remorse in one word. Just look at that shit. Just fuck.
Man,
Like, I love the controller. It's made me play my games a lot better. But like, the first time the thing was sticking in my finger, popped out. I was like, what the fuck?
popped out of your fucking head, god damn.
Yeah, like I was playing it, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, why is this sticking to my? I was like, what the fuck? And I just took it out. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh my gosh, just
That's
ganja. So, what drug did you buy that didn't really do what you wanted it to do? Like,
See, that's the thing about being Ganja Guru. They usually are too strong in my case.
No,
No,
but go ahead, man.
but
That's still remorse.
buyer's remorse for me, it is drug related. I was big into bongs. Like a lot of people know bongs. They're like either the cheap ones or like this one. They're just like a basic, one hitter or some shit. But like I like those real like artistic pieces, like ones that have like cartoon characters, or they really spent like a good 3 months trying to make this artwork of something you just smoke out of. So I bought this beautiful bee dabber. It was like for $500. It was similar to that.
What the fuck is
It was
that?
similar to that. It
On
was
a
for-
Bonatron.
What was that? Was that a religious thing?
And I'm about to add the Allspark, Nick. But anyway, like I was saying.
No, wait, Ganja, let me interrupt you real quick. Quick side note. There's a whole documentary on those types of pipes. It's called like Degenerates Art or whatever, something like that, and it's about this whole.
It looks like a
business.
fucking figure, like a character from Smite.
No, like that looks like fucking Predacon and shit.
Y'all think that's weird?
Aztec guy
They
from
actually
Mortal
have
Kombat.
they actually have a
Yeah,
shop here that sells these like extravagant glass art, and they literally have a giant pirate ship that you could smoke out of.
sick.
Now, Ganja, how do you pray to that bong you got?
No. First you do is you light a little incense, and then you try to get your breast mace around, and you put on Cypress Hill. That's the best way to
And
honor
you get
the
on your
spirits.
knees, duh. How else do you pray?
I don't get on my knees. That's Catholic shit.
It's
But
funny
okay.
because like the person that he bought this off of was Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat.
Man,
No, but like I was saying, I bought an expensive piece, and it had like a bunch of like these glass bees on it, and it just a bunch of like wax that was made with glass on glass. And I was happy about it. It was $500. I was proud with it. It was like the first thing I bought with like my money from like the first time I moved out here. And that shit lasted a week before I broke off the side of it.
damn.
Damn.
So I'm like, okay, so this shit's broken, and I'm like, okay, so let me try to jerry rig something. As I'm trying to jerry rig another piece onto it, I stabbed it and I cut myself on the side of my arm.
Ooh.
God
Dude,
damn.
it's sharp.
Dude, no, because
Glass.
I was trying to jerry rig broken glass, so I was trying to put the pipe back together.
Jesus.
So I went too hard and that shit broke further through and it cut myself. And that was the last time I bought an expensive piece. I would never do that fucking again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking insane, dude. Like, honestly, you know what I'm thinking of when you say that shit? It's like you fucking accidentally tried to smoke out of the goddamn Hellraiser statue over here from the movie. Like,
No, it just blows me away. Like, oh my, I can't believe it.
Hey, I was trying to save my $500 piece, Alan. I was gonna use duct tape,
Yeah, but
whatever.
that's just usually like fucking intense class. So the fact that it broke and also you broke through it, god damn.
Dude,
Jesus.
at least my boots didn't break.
Oh, you're about to break your ass on those fucking things.
Fuck you, Alan. Your boots didn't cut you.
Hey.
It's fine. She already broke the bank.
Aww.
Damn.
Dude, man, MVP of the night. That was fucking great.
Oh man.
Hey man, I don't have buyer's remorse for that joke.
Boo.
Will God stop these two idiots, please?
I do have one more quick one just to end it off before we're going to the next question. So do you guys ever hear of this small game called Elder Scrolls Online?
Oh god, yeah, I know.
I
What
don't
you're about
know.
to say.
Yeah, I know that indie title.
I was a dumbass because I love Oblivion. It's like my favorite one, and I love Skyrim. I was like, oh man, Elder Scrolls Online is gonna be great. So I bought the big collector's edition with the box and everything, and I played it, and I never ever touched it again after the first week. $100 on that fucking thing, and just the worst part is I didn't know this at the time, so I put a beta code to play it a week early, just because they were waiting for the servers. They didn't know I bought the game, and what happened was. And I bought it on PC. That was the worst part. And I stopped playing it. A year later, I was like, let me go back and play it. I installed a disc. I go everything. I'm like, I don't know. It kept telling me I don't own the game. I'm like, what do you mean I don't own the game? I have the disc. I have the physical copy in my hand. So I call up technical support. They're like, you didn't put the right code in. You only put the beta access code in. So you technically don't own the game. And I'm sitting here staring at a disc, going, apparently I don't own this disc. So I just kind of threw everything out. I did not feel enough trouble to fight to get my money back.
Jesus Christ, man. $100. I mean, then again, I spent $90 on fucking Dead Island Riptide.
Last time I ever bought a collector's edition.
No, now I just go back to spending $80 on regular editions.
No, not even regular editions. 1 hour demos.
For the last time, that's the price of a full price
Summer
game,
Citizen
man.
treated you like a hooker, gave you an hour of fun.
Hey, like, you know what would have made your experience even better if it had amiibo support on the Switch?
Oh, fuck.
Don't even
That would have
fucking
actually
get me
made it.
started on that.
Like, you would have had the amiibo support. You would have got to play as Link in the Switch version.
I can do that in the Skyrim version now!
You would have had a great time.
You know we're gonna be hanging out with each other in like 2 weeks. I could dang you off a balcony. I'll remember this.
Damn!
No, but hey, guys, you know what, though? It's time to Comic-Con back to that conversation about Comic-Con, son! Oh!
Hey, go to Allie. She has the perfect face right now for that fucking joke.
Man, that shit just made me go like, what? I was just like, man, look, Comic-Con, yes, it's right here. Hadouken!
He's wearing, dude,
Oh my
he's
god.
wearing pants. He's wearing pants.
Yo.
Hadouken, man.
God damn. Wait, hold on. What the fuck's on your shirt?
Hey, man, it's good. Leave me
Oh,
alone,
God.
man. I love Psy. I love the memes, man. I love the memes. Leave me alone. Yes!
Paying for that? Why wasn't that your buyer's remorse?
Dude, I kind of fucking hate it all. Like, Jesus Christ.
Stop.
Hey man, I brought up the shirt before. I was like, really?
Hey, Anthony, if you're wearing a Dead Island Riptide shirt, man, he'd be like, totally like, that's a good shirt.
Hey, I would buy a shot for $90.
That's the only time, Dijon, I'm gonna get fucking Nick to smoke weed is if I pull out a bumblebee bone.
Dude, I would
No,
fucking...
Beast Wars, man. That's
I would smoke that shit upside down.
Hey, after he take a hit, he'd just be yelling, Bumblebee!
No, Bumblebee starts talking to him, and then he'll instantly become a nice guy.
It's like, this shit was the best. Like,
No.
That's what happens when you light it up.
When his shit starts kicking in, Allie.
I can't even do it as fast as you did.
Yeah, that's me running in as ganja gets him weed. No.
That's not weed.
Oh, no, he is smoking and be like, God, you bring me the hash, boy.
I will, Nick. I will bring you the hash.
A feeble stoner.
Exactly. Where is the hash? The humans have taken it.
The humans are smoking it.
Are you ladies man 3117 for it?
Are you Weed Man 42710?
Broke Anthony.
No, I'm not ladies man. I'm all Spark the Blunt 245.
Y'all go too deep with your Transformer references. What the
I've been
fuck?
hanging out with Nick for too long. I blame him.
It all just kind of melts together. We're gonna hit Transformers and wrestling in a minute, so.
Oh, that shit's great, dude. Megatron's a fucking stoner. Woo!
That would explain a lot, actually.
Weed Wars. No.
The All Spark was just a lighter this whole time.
I can smell you, boy, in the weed.
I don't know why, but that scared me. The fact that a giant robot was like, I smell the cannabis ganja.
know,
And I gotta
same.
run.
Like how?
Ganja can never hide.
You know, we gotta get out of this segment. We have to like leave this show before someone makes a joke about like the black characters having to weed all the time. Like we just gotta.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Is that ganja or a skunk? Look behind the bush.
Both.
Here's the thing, though. Since we're talking about robots, it's actually a really good segue. Because Anthony, I messaged you on Skype. I was like, dude, the hype is real, man. But nah, Pacific Rim 2 up. Right
They're actually doing it. They're
Yes.
actually doing the movie.
so it's pretty much just this trailer. It's pretty much just a short, simple, straight to the point teaser. But it's pretty much just GLaDOS just telling you to join the Jaeger regime or the uprising, if you will. So
Is this
I
connected
thought
to
this
the
was like an
Monsterverse?
alcoholic beverage commercial, like
No.
Jägermeister.
Jägermeister, and it's just like shows you John
And that's an
Boy.
expensive ass commercial.
Just pretty much, and they got like a whole little website too. It kind of reminded me what they did with the X-Men First Class. I mean, not First Class, Days of Future Past, when they had like the whole Think Industries or whatever, and you can actually go in there and look up. It's not that much on the website, but it's just pretty much just like an ad campaign, and I'm really fucking hyped. I know a lot of people. I know I'm in the unpopular opinion, but I know a lot of people really didn't like Pacific Rim too much. But like
Man.
for what it did, I got my fix. Like, it was pretty much a dumb big kaiju movie, and people that know me really know I love fucking kaijus. Like, I want Jet Jaguar to be in fucking Godzilla. Like, I go deep.
If they connect the Pacific Rim to the fucking MonsterVerse, they could just have it Jet Jaguar as a Jaeger.
Yeah,
sorry.
that would be fucking awesome. So I could go deep with my knowledge of this shit with Godzilla and all the kaiju monsters and shit like that. So like, let's get like a remake of fucking Giant Claw. Like, let's go. Let's fucking go. But
It's like a battleship.
yeah, it's battleship, but it's just like, hey, this right here. Hopefully they do clean it up, like with the action scenes, because I know a lot of people were saying like the action scenes.
That was my biggest problem.
It was really hard to see and stuff like that. So hopefully this time around they actually make it a little bit more tighter, where you can actually see the action, see the monsters, have actually more cooler monster designs, because some of the monster designs didn't look all too cool. They kind of just looked generic. I like the Jaegers looked cooler than the actual.
They
monsters
blended
themselves.
all together because their color palettes weren't different enough.
Yeah,
Or the
exactly.
fact that it was at night and underwater and raining. So
But it was
Yeah.
still pretty looking.
So it
was
just,
okay.
it had a lot of issues. Like, I'm not saying that it was a flawless movie, but for what it was, I got to see a fucking big ass robot hit a monster over the side of the head with a fucking big ass boat.
yeah, that was the coolest part. Every
happy.
every fight in the movie is just boo.
That's how Woodman
Every fight in the movie, it's like this slow motion huge punch for 30 seconds, and then it hits something, and then it'll do the same fucking thing back. That's every fight in the movie.
But it's like this telling you, like, because it's like about teamwork for one. Plus, it's like these big hulking things. If you was that fucking
We
big
found it. It
fucking
had a
boat-
message. That's why Anthony liked
No,
it.
it's no. Also,
Yeah, there we go,
I like
there we go.
everything about the movie except for the fighting. I just think the fighting was boring and hard to see.
It's about the community,
I
guys.
don't give a shit. I want to see some cool fighting. I didn't get that.
I was like, okay, Anthony got some stuff. Okay, this is good. It's good. And it's about working together. It's a fucking message.
No,
movie.
but
That's
see,
what-
no, but I don't think. No, I would defend. Hey, Anthony, remember that whole when you did the whole defending me thing?
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, too bad because your fucking defending sucks. I'm just playing.
you tagged him in.
I know Nick likes Pacific Rim so
I
much.
just turned heel.
You're already
Just-
heel.
Turn.
No, but the thing is though, I feel like no, I agree with him because a big thing about that was like, usually the humans are the boring part of the whole fucking thing, right? It's almost like,
Sure.
okay, yeah, let me show them fucking monsters. The humans were the monster, like the robots that fight off the thing. They were a very big, important part of the fucking movie. And
Yeah.
the fact that they kind of do the whole like teamwork aspect of it, it's like I don't need some real big fucking storyline. All I need to know is that these guys need to work together to fight off these big fucking aliens. I'm fucking hyped. Like it's
No,
such a
and-
simple story. It's fucking perfect. But I know
The
you don't like
best-
it. So.
Sorry, you're right, 100%. Like every single thing about Pacific Rim, I like the fact that it was two people running it. I like the camaraderie. I like the story. I think it was really well done. But every single time there was a fight, either I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on, or it was just a fucking 15-second punch to someone getting hit in the face with the punch, and then them replying with the it punch. Like the action scenes it was like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but in slow motion.
Hey, it's better than the fucking like half the shit that I watch from Evangelion. So like, I get this. I'll take
I thought
this.
that's what
That's your fault for watching anime.
No, like, cause like that was supposed to be like his pretty much Pacific Rim is pretty much like an animated Evangelion. Like it's
Pretty
almost like very similar in a
I'm
sense
sorry,
like
I
that.
missed the part in Pacific Rim where he gets told to get in the fucking robot.
Get the fucking. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Cause like literally that fucking almost anime. It's like almost you get to the fucking end, so he actually gets in the fuking.
Or
robot.
Ruthless, how about when one of the main lead jerks off over one of the female leads as she's subconsciously knocked out and shit?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, did I
That
need to
happened.
watch this again?
Well, hey, it's how
You know, he's like,
Chronicles.
don't remember that part.
Like,
Oh no, Ali, I'm not making a dirty joke. That shit happened in that anime.
it's anime, of course it happened there.
Oh well, it's anime. Okay.
That's a damn
Well,
shame.
I thought you were talking about Pacific Rim. I'm like,
Yeah, like, I don't remember that part either.
I was like, I don't remember a rape scene in Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I was
It was
like,
there in the background when Charlie Day was being as annoying as he
I
fucking
think
can.
Alan would be more frustrated too. Like, just why is it taking so long for it to fuck the other person? Grr! Like, just
Yeah, all the sex is in slow motion too, so it takes 15 minutes for everyone to do anything.
like just.
And don't
fuck
forget,
off.
did we forget about Charlie Day? The most annoying man on earth.
No, I
He
love
was
Charlie
not
Day.
that
I'm
bad.
sorry. Man.
I
He's
love
the most
that
annoying
actor.
man on earth.
Plus,
The-
like, can we mention one of the best parts of that movie wasn't like even in the robot. It's fucking Ron Perlman being like the black market guy. Like that shit
Yeah.
was fucking awesome.
That was one of the better scenes in the movie.
So
Yeah.
like it had its moments. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, it's not a flawless movie, but like this gets me hyped. Hopefully they fix all the problems that the first one had. But if y'all pretty much just give me just pretty much big ass robots fighting big ass monsters.
At this point, I'll be surprised if it comes out.
I'm sorry, Adrian.
That's confirming it.
They got rid of Charlie
It'll
Hunnam.
get canceled.
But one thing I gotta bring up really quick. I forgot which one of y'all because someone's like, "Hey, did you see a new Walking Dead trailer, man? Did you see it?" Which one was it? You or Ganja?
It's probably Ganja because I don't give a shit about The Walking Dead.
Bitch, why throw me on the bus?
I'm sorry.
You do that to me every day. Fuck it.
No, because you told me. I just can't remember who because you both are equally like your skin color is the same. But I mean, I'm sorry. No, but the thing is though, I gotta bring this up because no one ever hears me say this shit, but this fucking trailer was bad. Wow, it's black by the way. That's all it is. It's just.
That's a challenge. 50 seconds.
So we looking at John Boyega on screen.
Fuck you. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh,
But
Dale.
I've just about fucking had it with Negan. This fucking trailer was stupid as fuck, man.
Whoa, Nick, let me check your heart rate. Let me check your temperature. Wait, let me check your forehead. Are you okay?
Why is he putting his hand in your ass?
It's like you just said you're tired of Negan?
Yes.
What?
I'm sick
They're
of
gonna
this
turn Negan into Captain Jack Sparrow of The Walking Dead.
The beginning of this fucking trailer is right away just him going like, "Hey, you shitting yourself? You got your shit pants on? You shitting? You gonna shit yourself? You gonna go poo poo?" It's like, I get it, motherfucker.
He's
Like,
teaching little kids how to go to the bathroom. What's the problem?
And then the Father Gabriel is looking at him, and he's just like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, dude, like the joke doesn't, like, it's not landing. Move on the fucking trailer. It's
isn't he
5
the bad
minutes.
guy, though?
No, but Negan though.
Why does it sound like a
5
father
minutes.
that didn't really want his wife to get pregnant, but he just like taking care of the baby anyway? Just like, you're gonna go poo-doo, doo-doo, poo-poo.
Pulls out a baseball bat.
Yeah, he's like, go to the fucking bathroom. I don't give a shit. That was like a beer bottle.
And the whole trailer is so fucking like just like bop. It's like kind of like upbeat and not upbeat, but just a little like, come on. And they're trying to show this whole like we're gonna go to war. I'm so used to Walking Dead now. I know you motherfuckers are gonna go to war until like the season, like we call that
Finale.
No,
yeah.
what's gonna happen is they're gonna pretend to have a fight. It'll be 2 seconds, and then the next season they'll do the.
No, Alan. What they're gonna do is they're gonna go to a farm again, and then you're gonna start watching because you love that bullshit.
I know that they're gonna have a picnic and I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
this is
because
great
we're
storytelling.
gonna forget season 3 ever fucking ended and didn't have a fucking war. It had it for 2 seconds, and then they ended the season.
But at least season 3 had shit going on. You literally watched a fucking season where they're eating food at a picnic and being like, man, there's some
it's
zombies
okay.
out
We'll
there
have
somewhere.
15 more, 13 more episodes of Negan making shit jokes the entire time because now he's gonna be the star of the show.
Give this a rest, would you?
No,
Just talk about Walking
Jesus.
Dead, not about us.
Man, you guys argue about Walking Dead like all the time when we're not even.
It's one of the 4 things Nick watches.
here's the thing though, war never fucking changes.
The same thing. You all always argue about season 2.
Because apparently liking something in The Walking Dead is worthy of an argument.
But you should talk this stuff and literally that.
Yeah, I do. I'll do it again.
Stuff. We got a bunch of other stuff. Talk about that.
Which is the more impossible baby, Judith or the baby from Game of Thrones?
Wait, what are you saying? Huh?
I said, which is the more impossibly still a baby, Judith from Walking Dead or the baby on Game of Thrones?
Oh, fuck, I don't even know what baby. Like,
Judith from Game of Thrones?
Judith, the baby that's been a baby for 5 seasons now.
yeah.
How long has that been?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird because like they do these time jumps in Walking Dead. Like I don't know. I don't give a fuck about the baby. Honestly, at a certain point, I forget the baby's on there. So I'm just like, you guys, there's no point to even keep the baby around. You should have shot the fucking thing in one of the episodes. Not like
Dang.
That's how the comic happened. Doesn't that baby die in womb?
All the babies.
yeah, I didn't mean to call it a fucking thing, but like seriously, like Bullet, it makes a lot of fucking.
Well, it's just a
noise.
baby around. Like
The
at
baby.
no point, like, how do you feed that fucking child? Like,
with fucking food. What do you mean? What the fuck?
How the fuck do you feed a baby? What the fuck?
Alan, you know how babies work.
RoboCop baby, like a fucking shit.
no, but I mean, like, babies are. Are you seriously? I'm in a room full of people that hate kids, and I forget.
I've grown to appreciate kids.
Alan, real quick. Do you think breasts are only to inflate them when they're trying to swim? Is that what it is?
Oh, no.
Are any of the women in the show lactating, and also they also need some solid food, especially as they grow up?
Listen, man, it's not
it's
gonna
called
show
formula.
them lactating on the fucking show.
But that's my okay. But that's one of the things about the show. Is like the
Doesn't
baby's
come
there,
up,
but it
bro.
never causes them any problems.
Alan reviews Walking Dead. Not enough lactation.
God damn it! How is every time the Walking Dead gets brought up, it's on me, not on Nick?
It's just like we can all shit on
Season
on certain-
3, still not enough titty milk.
Whatever, man. Just talk about your stupid time jump that's
Negan
happening
walking
in
in
this
during
fucking trailer.
breastfeeding shit like, what do we have here? Oh, nice vitamin D.
I'm looking forward to when they reboot The Walking Dead and Negan is a chick and he always has lactating tits.
Milk
What
made
the
it
hell is going on right now?
Fucking Rick
That's
Grimes
on
makes a
Negan
mammary
nipples.
gland.
I love how y'all bring up that as this child still a child, and I'm questioning how they're feeding the child.
That's what you get for throwing me under that bus earlier, motherfucker.
Because Alan, you know how they feed the baby. There's formula that doesn't require you to have active, it doesn't require lactating breasts. There's also Gerber baby food, which they always run across whenever they go into one of those stores.
Yeah,
and
they have
stuff
an
over.
infinite supply
You
of
know how
fucking
they feed
baby food. The easiest thing to get in the zombie apocalypse. apparently.
Alan, you're welcome. This has been the MCA's
Hey,
Health
they have a
Class.
baby over 4 seasons. God damn.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, it's okay. This is a cleverly staged intervention.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, Anthony. Dead Jaguar will never be in the Monsterverse.
Wow, he just kicked you in the balls.
Wow, I'll buy that for $80.
Oh,
No, but just spend
man.
90 on Dead Island.
God damn it, man.
Hey, Alan, do you want to make fun of each other too?
Oh,
Riverdale.
I will say, oh, damn. Damn.
At least I got a season 2, bitch. Where's that Assassin's Creed 2?
Really?
Am I
That's the
missing
photo you were
something?
standing behind? That you got more
That's the
shit?
only point I got when it comes to Riverdale, bitch.
At least Ubisoft know when to stop.
When
Does-
you put me
does
on
Riverdale-
Riverdale, it's like I become one of the Spartans flying the cliffs. There's nothing but ocean.
hey, it's okay. We will all be saved in September by the almighty Cuphead. It's fine.
No,
Okay.
yeah, you're right though. But here's the
Amen.
thing, and, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about this a whole lot. Just another trailer came out with her. This is Madison, by the way. That I'm gonna bring it up really quick because I'm kind of curious what y'all think. And I don't know.
Hi,
If you guys watch-
Madison.
Wait, say what?
That's the way you said it. This is Madison, by the way. Hi, Madison.
Yeah, hi, Madison. How you doing? She's just walking down like I'm about to meet you in that chat attack. Fucking stupid. No, but apparently there's some talk where, and I hate when they do this because it reminds me of some Star Wars shit. So hey, back to that, Allie. You talking about saying things a lot. Star Wars fucking sucks, sweetheart. But anyways, no, I'm just kidding. I like it. But no, Walking Dead. Apparently they're saying that Madison is going to be. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. The chat. Wait, why we got fruit salad and titties?
I really.
Fuck this show.
I love how Jet put the caption. Watch y'all right now. So what are we supposed to get out of this?
No, Jet
Either
turns to a
she's
He's
robot.
really
Is
enjoying that
fighting?
salad.
He's laughing while eating the salad.
I like how Jet's just like, watch
Jet doesn't
y'all
eat
right
salad.
now and fruit salad titties.
Milk.
Jet turned into a
Jet doesn't
caveman.
eat salad.
No, man, but I mean, probably no one gives a fuck. But I'm just kind of curious what y'all think because they're saying that Madison is somehow related to Daryl Dixon or an
Oh, of
Dishonest
course.
article. But,
Oh my god.
Of course, because we can't have a separate series without relating it to the other series by having somebody related.
Yeah, that's the thing that's
It's
so
got to be
frustrating.
like his cousin.
Everyone's got to be connected.
I'm still mad that this fucking series is still going when it was supposed to be about before the apocalypse, not fucking Walking Dead light.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like, I don't know why the fuck this is a show still. It's over. Like,
Keep watching it.
Aren't
Yeah.
they talking about it ending soon?
When they made that show,
Yeah.
like it almost felt like it was like trying to get on the YouTube algorithm system. They was just
Yeah.
like, we need another show to fill in the tags. So just put Fear of the Walking Dead. It's still trending.
You name it Boar of the Walking Dead.
I was make another one called Fear the Walking Alive. Like just as long as you put walking it's somewhere in there, like it'll be fine.
It's taggable. It's
It'll be-
taggable.
Yeah, it'd be like those Of the Dead movies. It's just Walking Dead. We got to put some random.
Bitch,
thing
don't
in
you
front
make
of
fun
it.
of my zombie films.
No,
Man.
but it's just like those mockbusters, like Transmorphers or Snakes on a Train. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
Fear the Walking Dead. But yeah, I just.
Fear the Walking Dead.
But I'm just kind of curious though. Yeah, here is The Walking Dead. No, anyways, I'm really curious as to how do you guys feel about when they do things like this? Because I can't stand when Star Wars does it. I mean, I like how I'm pretty sure fucking what's that guy we make fun of? John Boyega. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure his character is gonna be somehow connected to fucking Carizian,
Mace.
Lando. So
Oh yeah, no, I think they
Maybe.
set it up. But, yeah, they
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's kind of stupid where it's like, oh man, we got to somehow connect them because you can't just have them meet up because that'd be cool. No, they have to be related because everything is connected to everybody.
yeah, it's just fucking annoying, and I just don't know why they're still doing it. I mean, is this a situation where you guys feel like this is just stupid as shit too, or not?
I
Really?
think that there's a line where it can work and it can't. My favorite time that shit happened was in Crank 2, where they're like, oh, this actually was connected to this, and this was connected to this. Like, that was just so stupid that was awesome, but like...
Yeah, but that's not good.
Yeah, but like I mean, I feel the same way like with Terminator. Is the thing that kind of bothers me. Like, what's that guy from Whiplash, J.K. Simmons? Apparently, he was the cop who fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, that's fucking stupid. Like, why does it have anything to do with
That was
the whole thing? Like, that was like ridiculous. But this happens like a lot of movies, and it's just like I know everyone's trying to build their own universe. I mean, we just brought it up with Pacific Rim and the whole like kaiju thing, and
Sure.
there's a slight chance for King Kong might be fighting these Pacific Rim monsters. I mean, you never know.
That'd be kind of fucking cool.
Yeah, that
Well,
would
but
be.
it's frustrating because it's like now we don't have separate entities. We don't have separate IPs. Everything is the same, and it's like, fuck, man. Can we stop? Like,
Well, no,
everybody-
because there's one issue that you're getting at is The Walking Dead and the Fear the Walking Dead are obviously on the same planet at the same time. The issue is the characters being related for some fucking reason. Why can't it happen where Fear the Walking Dead ends by having the cast that's left meet up with the current cast of The Walking Dead? That'd be kind of cool because it's a shared universe. But having them related is just connection for no fucking reason other than have a connection.
No, like I said, like everybody's like the big thing now, the big buzzword now is universe. Everybody is trying to establish their own universe, their mythos, so they can say, oh yeah, we did like this is connected to this is connected to this. Like the franchise, like with video games, movies, everybody's trying to get that franchise so they can have continual money flow, so they can just keep pumping them out. I mean, they even trying to do it with the whole dark universe, with the movie monsters and shit, Frankenstein and the Mummy. So it's just like they're trying to do it with everything, so they can, like I said, and it's kind of like it's a smart business move. Granted, we getting tired of it, but like when you do that, if you have like a big property, when you like try to establish multiple characters so you can constantly have money flow, so I guess it makes business.
But aren't they already connected though? That's my question. Why do we have to connect them further? Aren't they already in the same universe?
I would think that they would do it the opposite way. Just at the end of Walking Dead, kill everybody but Carl and send him off to wherever people from Fear the Walking Dead are. And so that's how the story continues on. So you continue Fear the Walking Dead, not The Walking Dead.
now, and another thing to bring up, because we'll move off of this right now, but it's like another thing is I'm like really starting to go back my whole Walking Dead shit. It's like with wrestling because. Like they're all over the fucking place. All Eyes on Me, the Tupac movie. You got Lauren Cohan,
that
Maggie,
movie.
and Michonne in that fucking movie. I don't think that made a whole lot of sense having them on. And then, Batman v Superman, Martha is Maggie, and
Negan is what's his face?
I don't even know what you call him. Like, what is his name? Batman's dad. Like
Thomas
Hill.
Wayne.
Oh yeah. I was like,
Hank Hill.
nobody screamed
Sorry,
at
I was
any
taking
point
a
during
drag
the
on my
movie, so I don't remember.
Martha.
Why did you
and
say that?
now I'm at a point where like, okay, you know what? Now you guys went too fucking far. Like now I'm like, okay, this is bullshit. But this fucking thing, apparently they're saying that Maggie, Lauren Cohan, is going to be the next Joker. Which with this face, I can see it.
There's something that they're talking about, and they're talking about Flashpoint, which I don't know if it's at all we're going to mention it.
Yeah, we
But the Flashpoint movie, one of the coolest parts of it, I remember, Nick, you watched it as well with us, was when they're doing the alternate universe that the Flash creates, that the Joker in that universe is Batman's mom because she went crazy when, Batman doesn't make it in that universe.
Yeah.
The fact that they're going to put any screen time to that is kind of one of those things where it's like they brought it up and it's cooler to think about than the actual execution because they never show it. They're like, oh man, let's bring it up and not have that. But now they're going to do it. It's just like, they might fuck this up really easily.
Come on, Red Superman. Come on, Red Superman. Please.
Yeah,
Depends on how they do it. That might fucking go down.
I always just liked it, this story mode, just like in practice, where he kind of like rarely showed it, because like even in the Flash Paradox movie, they kind of just touched on it, and it was just like, oh yeah, just this thing that's just happened. And I always liked it just because the fact that it goes back to what Joker always said, just one bad day.
Right.
For the this actress playing it, I mean, with that fucking face, like I don't know. Like maybe she could probably play a good fucking role. I'm like,
It'd be
Probably
kind of
better than Jared Leto.
yeah, for real. Like she's going back to that whole thing, like the original, the Batman, the Tim Burton and shit. Like love that Joker when they had the big ass
have a
mouth.
grill,
Wouldn't
man.
that suck in a way that like she plays a better Joker than Academy Award-winning Jared Leto.
Well, it's all about the director. It's all
Don't
about
worry,
the
they'll bring back. They'll do a sequel. They'll remake the Purple
like
Lamborghini.
granted it was Jared Leto, but like you had look who was helming the project, David Ayer. So it's just like
Hey,
Yeah,
David
but-
Ayer didn't have a razor shave that motherfucker's eyebrows. I saw that son of a bitch do that.
Yeah.
That was
that's-
him going, hoo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like for me, it's like. I mean, I hate to like say like hey, let's not change gender roles or races or whatever
Sure.
certain like characters, but it's like it's so obvious that she should definitely be fucking Harley Quinn. It's like, Margot Robbie, I want to fuck her, but I mean like honestly, other than that, she's not really all that great. I'm just kind of I don't like Harley Quinn in general, but like obviously everyone has a fucking problem with her. And
I don't know. I think she's kind of beautiful. I like those plain Jane kind of girls, like you see like next door and shit type.
Right.
But she's not even plain Jane. Like her whole I'm a bad girl. What you got? And I'm just kind of like, yeah, you don't look crazy at all. This fucking bitch over here, like Maggie.
Yeah, but that's one
I'd be
her
scared.
looking crazy like that. Like, I mean,
No, I was
think,
talking about Maggie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I think she could work like as the kind of Joker thing, like with the crazy kind of makeup. Like they kind of made like the lipstick would be like right up her face type thing. Like I think it would work really well. And this isn't the same Joker, so it's not like there's not gonna be any issue with switching gender roles. It's not the same Joker in this alternate timeline as it would be in the normal timeline.
And I'm really scared
Yeah,
of.
I don't like it for that Joker though, man. Like that, the whole thing is Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, and Martha Wayne becomes the Joker because instead of them being shot, Bruce Wayne is killed.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be older. It's supposed to be like a whole. They're mentally breaking down, and this is their way of dealing with the trauma. I don't like it. I'm sorry.
You know what's
I'm
funny,
gonna
though?
be that guy.
But Ruth, this is funny, and I think we all pretty much watched this movie. But it's like this is basically the storyline for Lego Batman because Joker and Batman have this romantic thing. And it's like, wouldn't it be funny if like that same exact storyline is Maggie and fucking Negan? Like that'd be weird as shit. If Lego Batman becomes a serious thing because that movie's so good.
Well, no, yeah, it's more like it's more along the lines of the DC animated Flashpoint Paradox movie. It seems like that's a lot of where they're getting their stuff from.
No, I always liked it that when they hinted on it and stuff like that, that they had like some kind of like, not I say relationship, but some kind of like not sexual tension, but just like they could be lovers, like probably in a different universe. Like I know one thing that kind of went into that whole mythos was the fan comic. I don't even know if anybody read it, but it was called The Death Pact. And it had like the Batman and the Joker. Like Joker had broken into the Bat Manor and had killed Alfred, and then Batman and Joker was like falling off a building, was saying like, "Hey man, we had like this death pact. So when I die, you die. We both die together because we love each other."
Isn't that how Sherlock Holmes
Fuck.
Yeah.
Actually, in the comics itself, it was in the New 52. I read in the Batman comics that like when Joker, that screwed up Joker, the one that like tore off his face and then put it back on. But like the whole time he was like referring to Batman as darling and sweetie. Like, and he kind of had this like type of like mentality when he was always around Batman. So it was kind of hinted on that he kind of had a little bit of a crush on Batman in a way.
Yeah.
So.
Or he was crazy and trying to throw him off. The much more likely
Either way,
situation.
both. I would say both.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it seems interesting. I mean, it seems a little dark for Batman or DC Universe movies in general.
Oh yeah, because that's the problem. DC's not dark enough.
Yeah, no shit. Like honestly, it's like, can you guys learn from fucking Marvel a little bit? Just a tiny fucking bit, please.
They did. They hired the director of the Avengers. Like they
That's
totally
true.
are learning.
To do what though? Like to put his name on it? Like, oh man, the movie's coming out. When's the movie coming out? In like 2 months?
No, isn't Josh Whedon doing Batgirl?
Yeah, but again, what can he do? Like everything's done. Like,
and he's doing the Justice League
Well, this one seems more lighthearted anyway. Justice League.
It
Like,
just
how
seems
we
like
received
black.
so far.
I'm glad you brought that up, Allie, because that's the thing. I'm actually gonna show the trailer right now if I can find that fucking thing.
Fucking shit.
he's stalling everyone.
There you go. I'll just do that. So it's not stuck on your face all the time. But here
Oh,
we
I
go.
was gonna start tap dancing.
Okay, here we go. And I haven't seen
Start
this yet.
dancing.
So luckily I'll have an opinion that's gonna piss off the entire fucking chat. So Anthony, I'm gonna start off with you. What'd you feel about this, man?
Yeah, like Allie was right. Like it did seem a little bit tongue in cheek, a little bit more lighthearted and stuff like that. I don't know why they it's kind of weird because I'm like, I don't know why y'all hamming it up in the trailer that Superman is still alive. We fucking know it, but they hamming it up really good. And something that was really odd to the trailer, it was just like, Superman. Granted, I don't hate Man of Steel like everybody else does. I actually quite enjoyed it. But what they were saying about Superman in the trailer, just like he always brought out the best in people. He always like saw the light.
Man,
Superman was a beacon. I'm like, I did not see that shit in Man
Now
of
Allie
Steel.
became a soul singer.
I'm like,
Man.
Clearly, they were watching the old Superman movies.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all must be talking about the animated Superman because y'all wasn't talking about Henry Cavill. So I'm like, what the fuck? That was kind of really strange how they was doing that in the trailer, but I guess they gotta play it up and shit like that. And also, Allie, who's the villain in this movie? Because if that's Darkseid, he looks
No,
demon-like.
it's Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a right hand of Darkseid.
He's come a long way from that rock band.
Now,
Yeah,
can
They
we
can't
please?
just whip it out yet.
Here's the thing I gotta bring up really quick. I know people are gonna say, "No, well, Josh Whedon just came in at the end. There's still things that haven't changed." But
Sure.
can we please bring up one very glaring fucking issue with this? This is a fucking video game. Not this part, but I'll show you right now when fucking Aquaman is in some. There we go. That shit. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Any other time, Nick, you would be freaking like on board for this.
No, sweetheart.
I'm curious.
This shit
I-
is
I thought
stupid
you
as
loved it.
hell.
Batman v Superman was the whole Doomsday fight. That was all a video game.
But that no, the Doomsday thing did not look as bad as that shit we just showed right now. That fucking with the red. Why is everything red? Why
because
the
it's
fuck-
dark.
Magic?
Magic?
Well, it depends. As Darkseid, like
Force.
we don't know much about the movie, so
Yeah, the
we don't know if
Force.
Darkseid's fucked the planet up, or we don't know if he's blocked out the planet.
No,
It could be
he-
okay. You want an explanation that I think that's probably explain why everything's red? Is Superman comes back, but the Darkseid ends up turning the sun red or blocking the sun out and making it red, so that Superman has no powers.
No, I actually have a reason why it happened. When they started doing this fight, whatever, someone fucking pressed star and had an alternate fucking stage costume, whatever the fuck, before they started the fight. All right, you press square, you unlock the fucking map, and that's why it looks like that, because that's clearly what the fuck it is. It's Mortal Kombat X all over it again. I'm fucking Anthony. This shit's
Anyway,
stupid.
while Nick's having a nervous breakdown,
I hate it. I hate it.
I don't think that this
Contradictory.
looks as bad as Batman vs Superman was, or as terrible as Suicide Squad was, or the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad. Sorry, but
They had some respect on Suicide Squad's name.
I
apparently.
really think that this is not going to be as good as Wonder Woman because there's too many characters that they're introducing, and they're not going to be able to develop them well. And I think that there's a real clash of like all the bullshit that they set up with like now they're trying to take this lighthearted approach. And
you
it's
said
like,
the
it's
same fucking thing about Wonder Woman, man. Don't give me
Well,
that.
they're
I
very
mean,
similar.
Wonder
That's the thing.
Your exact words were these are three different movies raped together, and it'd be an incredible movie. Like I'm not saying this movie's
It
gonna be
was
good,
not
but give it
incredible.
enough of a chance to not at all.
I wouldn't say that Wonder Woman was incredible, and that came together as something different. They advertised that as something that it wasn't really. Like it
Yeah,
ended up being like
Again, I'm not saying this movie's gonna be an Academy Award-winning movie like Suicide Squad, but I'm watching it going, it could be something interesting. Like I'm excited for this. It's something I've kind of always wanted to see, and I want to know how they're gonna do it. And they finally made Aquaman cool. That's something I've been wanting since I was a kid.
I'm mad because like you motherfuckers and Allie, you too, sweetheart. Oh my god, girl, you talk shit about DC. Marvel's great.
What are you talking about? I've always been on the DC train.
You have, but not with the movies, not with the DC EU chocolate milk.
Hey,
fucking
man,
whatever
I'm
the fuck
not
it was.
Chocolate.
I've been rooting for DC. Like, even though I don't like most of their movies, I still root for them. Every single movie, I'm like, okay, I have hope. Wonder Woman was great. Hey, I got something to latch onto now. So I'm on the train. I'm all there in the hype.
Turn into fucking Busan, man.
Train to Gotham.
Oh.
At the same time, it's just, and it always goes back to that thing that you say, Nick. It's just like, oh, you motherfuckers are just mad because they didn't do it like the comic book. They didn't do it like this. They didn't do it like this. It's just with the movies, DC has burnt them so many times. Not me personally, but just like the general audience, the mass populace. They've just got burned so many times. It's just like, why did you do this character like this? Why did you do this character like this? Why did you take this creative liberty? So after all of these movies, like them coming into this, it's just like we have a little bit of hope and like a little bit of like just optimism.
You about to say Optimus?
Yeah, optimism.
Yeah, man.
It's like the Transformers is in me, but it's like we have a little bit of it because what Wonder Woman did, and it's just like the first movie that's actually somewhat good. But at the same time, it's just like we don't know where this is gonna fall. Like 50-50. Some things we like about it, some things we don't. Because like the very end of the trailer, it did have like a lot of good moments. You just like flash that moment where he was like, "Hey, they just all disappeared." That's kind of rude, man. And then he just runs off. I love that shit. That's actually pretty fucking funny.
Oh, I
And-
just thought it was funny.
they're not being so like dark like they normally are, and it seems like they are trying to learn from Marvel just a little bit, just a pitch. And granted, with this movie, like no matter what, at the end of the day, comic book fans are still going to be like, hey, granted, it's going to be bad or good or whatever. But we still got a day and age where the Justice League is got to be on the fucking movie screen. Like, it's finally happening. Like, no matter what, we still trying to have that overall excitement because it's just like, holy shit. Batman, Superman, Cyborg, Flash, all these people are finally on the fucking big screen. And if it's going to fail or not, we still just hoping for it. So it's just, I'm pulling for it, man. It's a lot of things that I see in the trailer that's so just like, come on, you can do it. You can do it, man.
Yeah,
you can do it. Like, it's like the little train that could. You can go, man. You can do it, man.
Exactly.
So,
Even though your tracks were fucked up for like the last 2 miles, just keep going.
you keep
and-
going.
Hey
Oh,
man,
man,
that's
they
the definition of
persevered.
an underdog.
No,
Exactly.
And just like what Anthony's saying too, he's like, you're acting like you're its parent. Like, come on, you can do it. But yeah, you're leaving that fucking kid leave with like one tire on its bike. There's a car coming. The fucking tire's gonna crash.
Hey, I tell you
Hey,
And that
man.
car's being by Stanley. We all know he can't drive for
Hey
shit.
man, Rocky lost the first fight he ever did, man, but he won the second one.
I tell you what though, like if DC does get this wrong, man, they gonna have hell on their hands. And the next thing they do, they're gonna have to like just blow us out of the water. Because I think after this Justice League thing, a lot of people's just gonna get burned. It's like if this is a piece of shit, man, DC is gonna have to recover like hard. Like people are just gonna be like, fuck it. But fuck it.
Again,
So-
I still think they can do it. Again, like we've seen time and time again in a bunch of movies where they have a bunch of characters that they don't necessarily have to have their own movies for, but they have been able to develop over the course of the movie and make it work. Like Cyborg and Flash could be like almost like they're buddies, and develop through each other. We already have most of the other, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, all that stuff already done. Like this could work. Sure, they have a bad track record, but I still think it could work.
It's just and not hold on, Nick. Sorry to interrupt you, but like my biggest gripe with it is it's just like everything that they've set up flowing into this, it's not going to be a smooth landing. That's all I'm saying. Like from watching this trailer, it's like it's just they're not like going with everything that they've set up. Like you got to be committed to it for it to work, and I hope they can, but it's just I don't know. I'm starting to see like tearing marks on the side.
Well, even Anthony, like when you see, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know if you had
just wanted to make a quick mention because I thought this would be funny. It'd be weird twist of fate. What if actually Infinity Wars actually comes out and that shit is bad and Justice League is actually better?
You shut your whore mouth.
That'd be hilarious.
No Marvel fan would ever admit that because they're fucking fanboys.
Oh,
yeah, they still think Guardians of the
I
Galaxy.
could kiss you right now.
They still think Guardians of the Galaxy.
Cut out your fucking tongue, bro. That's what I would do.
Damn.
Scissors, man. Oh, because drugs. Sorry. God damn it.
They're actually safety scissors. Oh, damn it.
I was cutting my hair.
I thought we was about to get ready for some lesbian action.
I know.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Don't. Just
What the fuck do you do with your scissors?
Oh, scissors!
Apparently have
I
sex
get it
with-
now.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I
because
get
when
you.
girls
I
do that
get
thing,
you.
it's like two scissors, like
I'm
nothing.
insulting him, and he doesn't even know why I'm insulting him for.
By the way, it's kind of stupid to put two scissors together too because they can't cut each other. Like, what the fuck? The whole thing about lesbian sex, like, y'all need to start fucking.
Nick!
Like, Jesus.
DC.
Allie, you don't want to hear about
Fine.
lesbian sex and his
Man.
No, I don't want to hear about that.
Damn.
Hey, it's all good though. Hey, man. Hey, Ellie doesn't need a lecture. Anyway.
Anyway, what about that Ready Player One?
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know what? That'll be great for later on because first,
Aw, dang it!
Punisher, bro.
Damn.
Defenders!
This shit, if it will fucking load, you motherfucker.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see the Defenders loading screen.
It's gonna be the best loading screen you ever did see because it's Marvel. But
I can't. No, dude, I'm super fucking excited. I cannot wait for the Defenders, man.
because that first trailer was just Punisher coming out, right? And that's the thing. I wanted to jump on this earlier. That's why I was trying to interrupt you, Anthony. So
Yeah, sorry.
I want to like jump on your
No,
shit.
sure.
But the thing is like my big thing is and you perfect thing that you said, Alan, is people. There's so many people in the Justice League trailer. It's like, okay, how can you tell a story that's gonna make any fucking sense? You got like 8 people that you gotta like build to. Sure. Defenders does the same fucking thing. And that's why I'm like, dude, I know this is not going to be good because you got, like, for one, I know they have their TV shows, but Iron Fist, for one, and it's getting a second season, by the way, so fucking...
I don't know how or why, but sure.
Yeah, but the biggest thing, too, is just, like, he doesn't connect, like, he doesn't belong with Luke Cage. He doesn't belong with fucking anybody there. The man has glowing fists. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I didn't. Again, I watched all of all of Iron Fist, and yeah, that really really fucking sucked. But what it was is yes, you're right. Technically, he doesn't fit with Luke Cage, but he actually fits more into where Daredevil, because the whole thing about Iron Fist is mysticism and praying and meditation, and a lot of that was what happened in Daredevil. So it's like I kind of like that they're kind of having all these people, and they've already set everyone up, so they don't really need to sit there and explain like, who are you? It's like, no, we got who you are. Now we just need like that one meeting of everyone in the room kind of talking, and then we deal with the main plot. Which I'm kind of excited because seeing the trailer, I'm like, they have good chemistry with each other. This might not be the greatest show ever, but I like the character interactions. That's what I want to see walking into the show. I want to see all the characters kind of talking and see how they interact and their different ideologies. Like Jessica Jones probably does not give a shit about killing people. We saw that in the Jessica Jones, TV show. True. But Daredevil does. So it's like, how are we going to deal with this dynamic? And somebody, this guy has a glowing fist. This guy can't be shot. I'm really curious how they're going to really make everyone roll.
This girl is strong.
Go ahead, Ganja.
No, I'm saying this girl is strong.
Yeah, but my only issue is like we all agree that this is like some more serious shit, right? Because everyone was talking about that before, like, oh man, like this shit's like really serious, and badass and adult, and the whole thing. But then you get a situation like this where this motherfucker's praying to his goddamn fist. Like this is so not what these shows are about. Like even if you like it or dislike it, like me,
right?
This doesn't belong. It's fucking so different, and I don't know, man. It's just it pisses me off. And then you got Punisher on there. I thought Punisher was gonna do his own shit, move away from all this ridiculous fucking storylines.
He'll come in as a cameo. They're gonna need some backup, like an army at the end type thing.
But like even Daredevil walking around with a fucking like a grandfather's sock over his fucking eyes. I don't know why he has to cover his eyes so much. Like people, I'm blind by the way. I'm gonna make sure everybody knows.
Oh come on, you're gonna love this show because Punisher's gonna show up to Iron Fist and go, "Why the fuck are you here?"
I hope that happens. I want this to be a comedy.
It looks like Jessica Jones is already doing that, so I think we're good on
everyone.
Why
this
the
whole
fuck is he?
Everyone's shitting on Iron Fist as they should.
No, that's the thing about this, Nick. And granted, it is like ridiculous, but like, come on now, we literally got like a talking tree and a raccoon in the same universe. So it's just like they do what they can to make this stuff somewhat seriously because like it is kind of ridiculous that the dude is fucking blind, but he can see, but he can't see, and then the guy is fucking like glow in the dark, and then Luke Cage, how inconsistent his ass is with his power sometimes. So it's just like, yeah, it's granted, but they do what they can, and the most thing I'm actually looking forward to is just the camaraderie, just them talking to each other, because I was laughing the entire time while watching this trailer and stuff like that. When it was all at the dinner table, stuff like that, he was like, "Yeah, that's pork," and he was just like, "Dude," Jessica's just like, "You're weird." It kind of reminded me of fucking Avengers, or just that chemistry they had, like the very end of the movie when it was eating shawarma, like just like them shit talking to each other and stuff like that, where they're also trying to get together to help take down this like crime syndicate, shit like that. And just Sigourney Weaver, just her dialogue in this fucking trailer, and just seeing her like in a comic book thing like this, I'm just really fucking curious where her character's gonna be, because she seems like she's just stern. I don't give a shit. She's gonna take New York for the taking. Like it's hers, and just like how these heroes are just gonna combat her. I'm just like, holy shit, man! I'm really looking forward to this. I'm
looking forward to the sick ass fights. That's all I want.
Which they will be probably cool. And
one mean comment before I say one nice thing about the Defenders. Mean comment. Can somebody please explain to me how they're all from different parts of New York, and yet in this series we know Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are going to be nowhere to be found, not even for a consultation, despite the fact that the Hand is like a mystical set of ninjas from the Far East, just not too far from where he was fucking training at. All right, that aside, I am kind of happy that we're in the Defenders. You are going to get to see Helen Ripley and Trinity from the Matrix interact with each other at some point. I like that.
Yeah, man, and I don't know, man. I'm hyped to an extent because I do want to see more Luke Cage. I want to see Luke Cage without the fucking story and without him doing dialogue. Just have him walk around, and take all these bullets,
punch a dude through a wall.
Yeah, and no more of like, I don't want to kill people. I loves everybody. Like, man,
can we have him still in a really sick suit the whole time, like in the one episode of Luke Cage where he was wearing a suit and it was awesome?
Wait, Ruthless. You said the Hand Clan or what? What was that?
That's what they're called. The bad guys.
Are they? So are they? So the Hand, are they related to the Foot Clan? Is Ninja Turtles?
You don't know this? No, hold on, wait. Yes, they actually are. The Foot and the entire like Ninja Turtles themselves are essentially stolen from Daredevil, because the creator of this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a big fan, and so without saying the Hand and without saying the ooze was the same ooze that made Daredevil able to see without having sight. That's where that all came
Fuck
from.
this
So yes,
series.
they are related to each other.
Fuck this series. Fuck this series.
I can't wait to see
God.
Shrek hanging out with a blind guy.
You know what? And it's funny because the next thing I'm about to talk about is like bringing random shit together. But at least the shit. It's like I don't know how to feel about the next thing we're gonna talk about now because shit like that happens.
Oh, I'll tell
Okay,
you.
I'll sum it up.
Man.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. So here we go. Hey, Allie, do your thing, girl. Get
Ready
hyped.
Player One?
Ready Player 2. Not Ready Player 1.
Boo.
Oh. It's Ultimate Thrill Ride.
I really wish I would have read this book. I really wish I would have read
Yeah,
it.
I can't wait to figure out what the hell is going on in this movie.
You
And that
shut the
trailer
fuck
sure
up.
held it. It was just a bunch of references. That's all it was.
So
Alan, shut your mouth. Get in the corner. I just want
No,
to say this.
no.
Go,
Because,
Birdman.
like, dude, if you like read the book, and granted, like this is just a teaser trailer and stuff like that, but if you read the book, because I've seen numerous reactions to people who actually read the book, and they picked up the plot just from like these scenes that they show. So it's in there. You just gotta like know the fucking source material.
What, dude?
Yeah.
The guy puts on the glasses, and then it's just a cosplay convention for 2 minutes. And then there's a race at the
What
end.
is every Marvel and DC movie fucking ever?
But at least the trailers have some sort of like story. There's just a bunch of
Dude,
scenes.
okay,
That-
no,
that
I must
sets up the-
call out. There's gonna be a fucking war, man. Because if you did not read the comic books, if you did not watch the sequels, what the fuck is Avengers, man? It's a bunch of goofy-looking motherfuckers fighting something in the goddamn.
Again, I've never read a Thor comic in my life, but I still watched the movie and enjoyed it.
Well,
But
because
the
you
thing-
know
you're
what the
not
shit is.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I've
you
never
are-
read a Thor comic in my life, so like,
you-
and I've never seen anything with
Why you
Thor
sticking
in it
on
for the
Thor?
most
You
part.
watched a Marvel movie before you
Man,
saw the fucking
hold on, Nick. Hold on. I'll kick his ass right now because I got
Yes.
one as a recent example. This motherfucker was creaming himself when Dunkirk had like a 15-second trailer when it was guys looking. Oh shit!
What's up?
Yeah,
Brain?
hey,
That's
the
awesome.
important part about that, it was 15 seconds. It wasn't 2 minutes.
But it wasn't
had
even a
even less.
reference to anything.
Alan, they're selling you something. I don't know if you knew this, but movies are products that they try to sell people so they can. And when I see a lot of shit I recognize and I'm a dumb person, I go, here you go, have my
That's
money.
why he's a fan of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, exactly. But like the thing I was
Not
gonna
Pepsi,
say,
though.
I actually my friend sent me a link. Like you can just Google it. You can find the book online for free. I started reading the first couple pages, and that trailer just made so much sense. Like literally, the beginning of the book is a guy talking about how there was this one guy who created the VR. He sold it for 25 cents to everyone, so everyone fucking had one. And it basically created a new way of life. And the guy was obsessed with the 80s. So, like, just looking at the trailer, it's like, all right, yeah, I can see where this is going. It makes sense. And the whole thing is everyone is competing for this guy's fortune because he didn't have any family, no heirs. So all those people who are racing at the end, they're, like, racing for, like, heading towards, like, the, what's it called? Like, the big prize. But I think this trailer's fucking amazing. I think it's perfect for a movie.
Well, no, but another thing too. Like, did you guys see the fucking stills that came out over this fucking movie? Like, there's a thing.
No.
There's a lot of really nice stuff, but there's also some subtle things. Like, I actually noticed at the very beginning of the trailer when he goes into the VR, if you look carefully, and I could 110% be wrong, but it looks like Deadpool and
Yeah.
Harley Quinn
It's
walking
Deathstroke.
in side by
It's
side.
Deathstroke.
It's Deathstroke.
Okay. So yeah, I thought that was fucking neat. And like a lot of the other stuff that they're hinting at, it's going to be hype.
No, but
Well,
like,
like-
one of my favorite stills from this fucking movie actually, from the trailer, because it wasn't in the trailer, but it was this still over here. Like, I was like, holy shit, I'm getting hyped like a motherfucker. And I was
can
like,
tell
it
you
smells
right
like
now,
Adam Sandler, but I'm not sure if it's really Adam Sandler.
Oh.
Wait till dialogue happens. You'll understand it's an Adam Sandler's movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And it-
I'm hyped, Anthony. That was a great trailer.
Yes.
And I know I only talked to you a little bit before we start this.
Mhm.
This shit's fucking stupid. I'm with you, Alan. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit with you.
Sure you are.
motherfucker
You're with
just
me
kinda-
now.
He just did like a whole bait and switch. Like this motherfucker just.
Seriously. Like, he was like, oh my god, I really
Yeah,
want
he
to
was
do amazing. Oh my
like,
god.
Trailer is
He gets in
amazing.
here. He gets on it, man. That's bullshit.
I like how soon as you go to this motherfucking show, you know what, bitch? You know what?
I can't.
Oh yeah, Allie, let's go. Let's go.
No, we're revolting. This is
No,
uh-uh.
you know what? No,
No.
you destroyed
No.
it.
No. Oh, wait, you
Here,
mean Alan?
here,
Alan
Anthony,
makes
use,
sense.
Anthony, here, use my shank, brother. It's
Yeah, like
fantastic.
no, fuck this shit. This shit looks cool. I don't give a fuck. It looks fucking cool. I've been waiting
Listen to the
for
man
this.
who makes sense here. Alan, tell these men, educate these people.
None of y'all would be into this if all of those references were to things that didn't exist. The only reason people are into this shit is because they saw Iron Giant, they saw Harley Quinn and Deathstroke, they saw the Tron bike. Like, it's just
That
a bunch
wasn't
of
the Tron
references to
bike,
other
that
shit
was
that
the
happened.
Akira
That's all
bike.
this trailer was.
And here's the thing. See, I was arguing with Alan, and I still agree that, like, or I still disagree in the sense of, like, yeah, like, that's all you're gonna know, because that's what all these comic book movies are. But that's the thing, it's like, that's what all these comic book movies are. We have no idea if this is gonna be good or not, and I gotta be honest with you, dude. I was hyped to see Deathstroke. I was hyped to see Harley Quinn and Freddy fucking Krueger, like, and Iron Giant. I was like, oh my god, I was literally shaking. I was so fucking excited.
But
And then I started thinking about it. Oh, go ahead.
This technically takes place within our own world, so this is coming from the point of view of someone who loves all this shit. And it's on top of that, it's being directed by Steven Spielberg. This is like the ultimate fucking like.
Oh no, it has to be
superhero
Christopher
weapon.
Nolan for Alan
No.
just to get on his knees and just slob
But
on
like,
this.
Christopher Nolan,
Man.
is the director. Like,
If DeLorean wasn't in this movie, you wouldn't care.
No, but
It's
that's the
more
thing,
than just
like,
DeLorean.
it's not like
Right,
this shit is
another
just
80s
thrown in.
Alan, are you willing to pay $80 to see another trailer?
Oh.
Man, if this is the same shit that happened with Alien Covenant and this movie ends up being garbage, I can't wait to
Like,
watch this
you
recording.
do, like, okay, Alan, Nick, y'all do have a point that it's just random shit in here, and it's just like all these references, and that's making people like it more. But it's not for the sake of just doing it. It has plot relevance. Like, the first line of the fucking trailer is just like, hey, it's your imagination. You can pretty much create all you want to do. And I think they're actually going to limit it because they can't get all the properties in the book,
Yeah,
because the
they
book is
can't
just
get
like
all
this.
those.
Like, it's a lot of fucking properties
Right,
in
yeah.
that book that they can't just reference. So they're going to actually pick and choose, like, from Warner Brothers and stuff like that. That's why I think we're going to see, like, a lot of DC characters, because they're not just there for the sake of being there. They're the avatars. Like you said, these are fans. These are gamers. Like, if we wanted to be like in the gamer world, Nick, you probably would be fucking Shinnok from Mortal Kombat. Julian would probably be like somebody from Evil Dead. Ganja would probably be somebody from Chicken Chong. Like, we would pick people from, like, we would pick people from pop culture if he was their own video game icons. We wouldn't like be like an original character or something like that. We would do the exact same thing.
It's
So
not
it's
there,
like-
man.
But there's many things here to think about, because what we saw in this trailer is something that I'm like, I was hyped, but it's like being hyped for like a video game, or for a video game based on a movie. It's like, oh, I get to play these characters, oh, I get to see this again, that's cool. But then it's like, okay, for one, Iron Giant, is Vin Diesel gonna play as Iron Giant? We don't know.
Probably. I'll be
Yeah,
surprised
no.
if it's voiced. It's probably just gonna be
I
a
know.
random walking
That would
thing,
be
and that's what,
amazing.
No,
That
but
would
then
be-
I'd
think
be
about
like,
this.
I would stand up in the theater and be like,
But then,
Alex does a slow clap.
Allie's
mid-move.
like, well, I got my money's worth.
Vin Diesel, Superman.
no, but it gets worse. Freddy Krueger. Dude, I loved the Nightmare on Elm Street remake for everything that wasn't fucking Freddy. It's very, very important to get Freddy down right. Now, granted, he might be on the screen for like a minute or something. Might not even be in the movie, really. But it's like, you could easily fuck that up. And then that kid actor, I'm sorry, but like, I'm not really... I mean, I don't know his acting skills. I don't know who the fuck the kid is. But it's just kind of
That's
like...
the guy from the other movie we were just talking about. What the fuck is that called? The about the spy. The same
Okay,
guy.
oh, is that the
Yeah.
Joel
The
Edgerton?
same guy.
Wait, is that
No,
Bugsy?
it's not.
Yeah, isn't it?
No,
I don't think that's
Are you
Bugsy.
I think he's from X-Men. I think he played fudge.
I thought he was
There's
from
one of-
Whiplash.
No,
That's what he
it's
looked
not.
like to me, but it's not him.
Oh,
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
look it up.
Yeah, but that's the
Sure.
thing. It's like, that's an issue there, too. Fucking, you got all these characters, and we're talking about, like, oh, we're scared of Justice League. We're scared of fucking Deftones. Holy shit. Defenders. I'm still thinking about New Metal from Linkin
Yeah,
Park.
he played Cyclops in X-Men Apocalypse. He's in Mud,
Oh.
Tree of Life.
So you played
Yeah,
the
he's not
character
really
who's in
known.
foreign.
But X-Men, I think he's coming back for the new X-Men, the Dark Phoenix.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
he was
yeah, he
in,
is. It says it here.
in a Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. That's where I
Yeah.
know him from.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the big thing this here is, like, you got all that. I mean, Justice League, what, at the top, maybe like 6 to 10 characters we're going to have to learn, like, not
Sure.
the main people and then the villains, and then Defenders, 4 people plus Punisher, and then whoever the villains are.
Yeah.
This fucking thing has 20 to 40, maybe 60 characters that we need to fucking be like, okay, did they do them right? It's not going to do it.
Nah, it's not.
I don't
You're-
think it's gonna even do that. It's gonna be random passerbys. Like they're gonna be walking down the street and we'll see fucking Punisher
Well, no, it's
or
not gonna
Batman
be-
flying around the corner.
It's more definitely going to be like kind of a Wreck-It Ralph scenario from what I get from people that are a
Yeah.
fan of the books. It's going to be like these, the characters already, so you really don't have to go much to character development. Like, if you already know Solid Snake, why the fuck am I going to have to give you a background? It's kind of why the recent Spider-Man movie skipped the origin. You guys kind of know all these properties already, especially that it's based around 80s, early 90s. So the main character already knows a lot of the personality traits with these characters. So it's more going to be more and more of these characters either helping out or try to hinder the main characters, like this dude that we see, or probably some other secondary characters that follow him throughout his journey. I think a lot of these characters are going to be either in the battle or references. They're not going to be full-blown, main characters. We're not going to follow Freddy and his story through this.
True.
Yeah, they're just.
The thing that's, well, the thing I was gonna say is just like one thing I'm kind of just worried about is like, okay, you brought up Wreck-It Ralph, and that's the exact same thing I'm thinking of. The thing is though, Pixar is fucking great, and they do great shit, and they tell great stories that make me, a grown-ass fucking man who has no feelings, cry like a little bitch. So that's the thing, and it's like, okay, they did good with Wreck-It Ralph, and I think that was kind of like a little bit above average. It wasn't really amazing, but whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like at best quality from Pixar. I don't know shit about, like, I mean, Warner Brothers I don't know a whole lot about, but they've been dropping the ball a lot, especially last year. And we gotta expect them to do good with this character we don't even fucking know. And this
is Steven fucking Spielberg.
He's done some shit that I'm not a big fan of.
Steven Spielberg never made a bad movie. War of the Worlds.
If that's his worst shit, man. I guess he's never made Oscar-winning Suicide Squad, but he made War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, and that's an okay movie, man. That's not that bad. Like, that's the thing is, like, there's no other person that I would feel confident directing, but just knowing that he's behind it. Like, when was the last time you saw a Steven Spielberg movie where he was going for fun? Like, the last thing he did was, like, a World War II drama. Like, this is so perfect for Steven Spielberg. I'm feeling this shit, man.
Yeah, and it calls back because it has all these callbacks to your favorite video game player, characters or whatever, like 80s stuff. Like, we know Spielberg the best in the 80s. Like, it's almost like it kind of goes together well, and he's always been good with like spectacle of just creating such like an awe about like all of the worlds he creates. I think he's just a perfect person to do something like this. You'll feel the grand scale of everything that's happening.
I'm looking at Jed Jackson said that Pixar didn't do that, so hey, I'm fucking stupid. But the thing is, I know Steven Spielberg did fucking the BFG, which was one of the boringest fucking movies.
Are we gonna forget Kingdom? Are we gonna forget Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
I'm about to say that too. Are we gonna forget Bridge of Spies, one of the most boring cinephile fucking films for Tom Hanks I've ever seen?
Like, granted, yeah, he does have the same track record. I'm really most excited. Like, forget the fucking studio, forget the director. I'm like a big gamer, and granted, like it's like, oh yeah, you're just a big gamer, so you're just gonna like go to anything that's just throw a gamer at the screen and shit like that. To a degree, yes, because I just fucking love video games. And I'm more excited for like the small references that you didn't catch. Like the characters, yeah, they're there, but like the tools and stuff like that. Like that orc, if you look real closely, that gun he's shooting, it's actually the gun from Halo. So that's fucking awesome. So just like little details like that is really getting me hyped for like it's showing you that we're in this gamer world, where we're in this gamer paradise and shit like that, and anything goes. And like Julian's saying, like they can use like these tools, the characters or whatever, to get to this fortune and stuff like that and build the story. And pretty much they actually show you the villain in the actual trailer and stuff like that. Like those men, I think they call them the Sixes in the book and stuff like that, and they're gonna be like the main antagonists and stuff like that. So it is story elements there for people to actually read the book. And I think this trailer, like of course they're gonna come up with another trailer for people that don't know, but I think this is really to capture the people and the awe from people that just really read the book. And I really recommend everybody, like even people that ever like read it before, like go read the fucking book, because I really hear that it's really fucking good for gamers and just good literature. So
hey man, I haven't read the book, and this just got me excited. Like I think it also puts this on the radar for people who are not as familiar with the property. It's like I want to go out and read. Like I'm gonna go and buy that book like ASAP, because I was like, whoa, I didn't realize the book was like this. Like I'm definitely down.
And Julian, the biggest thing about Steven Spielberg, I mean, I know all of you, like I know Ella, you like him too, and Anthony, all you guys. But if you notice, Steven Spielberg and his filmography, his best movies are serious movies where he has to do some adult shit, like fucking Saving Private Ryan or Jurassic Park or Schindler's List.
Jurassic Park has an element of fun to it, though.
No,
man.
True, but I mean, like that first beginning, like even when we were watching it in the after hours, like a couple weeks ago, it's like people literally, we're grown ass people, and we're like, holy shit, when the T-Rex is about to eat the fucking kids and jump in, it's like certain things about it. It's like it is, even though it's an adventure, it's a little serious. And Schindler's List.
I still think
the Indiana Jones movies, I mean, minus Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah,
They
but
may
those
be
are almost
tempting,
all serious as well,
but
too.
they're not really serious. They're
No,
fun
they're
saying
not.
action
that. I never
movies.
said you guys didn't let me finish. I'm saying like I'm talking about like the serious movies he does are great, and then movies that are not so serious. I feel like aren't so bad. I know like no, I didn't say Indiana Jones was serious, not at all. But like that's my problem is that adventurous stuff and like fun stuff. I mean, he's done Catch Me If You Can. He did Adventures of Tintin, fucking AI, artificial intelligence, which is basically Creed higher the movie. Like
I love that Tintin movie. When people complain about it, I didn't fucking understand it. I thought that was awesome. Like I thought that was a great action movie.
Okay, well then shit. I mean, I don't know what to say because we all have different opinions.
I mean, I just think this works so well because they're doing it as a movie. Like it would be one thing if they were adapting this story into a game, but the fact they're adapting into a movie. And it's Steven Spielberg, and they're taking all these properties that he was involved with, like seeing the DeLorean and all that shit. Like that wouldn't be as cool if it wasn't Steven Spielberg doing this. Like him doing that, he knows that that's a fucking big deal for him to include something like that. Like I feel like he's really taking his time with this, and it's I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be something special.
It feels like a passion project.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm hyped for that. You know, I'm trying not to shout it. Alan took a fucking hard one today. Like,
I don't know. It's not my feelings of it's just a random.
No, that's because it didn't say Christopher Nolan and then like 15 guys ducking. That's why. He was like,
Oh,
hey, Ganja, I think they Dunkirked.
don't let him get away with that bullshit. But
No, I don't know what
a
the
bunch
fuck
of
that
random
meant.
scenes with iconic video game and movie characters, and that's all the trailer was.
All I know
God
is it's time to
damn it.
Dunkirk out of this show because
Teaser.
it's been
It's
No,
not even a
that,
trailer.
like, no, just 1-800 call for a better joke. Hello, I need more jokes. I need more jokes. Like Jesus.
And then he hears
Christ.
clicks.
I'm here. Hello.
Hello. And
We
I'm
can use them both.
just a quick mention too. I just read on Variety too that Iron Giant is gonna play a major part in the plot of the movie. So
He lives on.
So
Oh, it's on, man. It's gonna be cool as shit. I cannot wait. But you know what I really can't wait for, Anthony?
what? Oh, what you can't wait
I
for,
can't wait
sweetie?
for that fucking damn viewing party shit. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be awesome. I got the straw poll in the chat right there.
It's gonna be
And-
zombies.
Here we go. What the fuck?
that's what he thinks.
I'm
is
a
zombie.
zombie.
Are you guys gonna be on a commercial for a fucking cereal or something? Like just.
I'm a zombie.
Whoa,
I'm a zombie.
hey,
No, but
hey, do the
tell him
Bernie.
about that line.
No, I thought you guys were gonna do the. There we go. Yes, do the Bernie. Yes. Oh, that's gonna be
I'm a
poker
zombie.
soon.
Oh man!
Oh,
but tell him about that lineup though.
That
Nick.
lineup, man, tonight in our special MCA Shut the Fuck Up viewing party. Oh, I'm sorry. That was me. No, everyone just talking about the movie. But hey, we're talking about obviously, you know, I'm not showing the whole results of the votes because I think pretty much everybody wants to watch Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead, and usually we would go with what was voted most. But you guys have to see the black and white Night of the Living Dead first because it is slow as fuck, and I don't want you guys to be tired out towards the end. Dawn of the Dead is too fucking action packed for Night of the Living Dead to follow. So that's the main event tonight. We're watching those both, and then afterwards, if you guys want to watch random stuff on YouTube, watch random zombie shit. I am down for it, man. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I can't fucking wait,
man.
Anthony. Ugh.
No shit! Don't! I don't know.
Don't say
fucking
it.
rough,
Don't
son.
say it at all.
He's like-
Bye, man.
But here's the thing, man. As I get this ready, Anthony, why don't you tell everybody goodbye and the whole fucking thing?
Hey,
Bye,
people, and again, just to set the rules and stuff like that, when we go into the viewer party, like I said, try to keep the talking to a minimum and keep it about the actual films and stuff like that. We don't want people to mute you, get aggravated, throw popcorn and shit like that. We just clean the theater. Come on now, put that fucking cup and that jumbo popcorn in the goddamn trash. I'm not gonna tell you again. I'm not gonna fucking tell you again. Okay, with that being said, folks, I want you to say it with me on 3. 1, 2, 3.
What the fuck he dropped? Why does this shit always do this to me? It's frozen again.